I'm just so mad. I'm gonna hate buy it.
I'm gonna buy it, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy it.
You gotta.
I ain't asking for the world here. I'm just asking for an 8-ball and $2 million.
I'm late, but I'm here.
Hold on, hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
Let's bring up our special guest. I cannot fucking talk tonight. Bye. Anyway,
David, for the record, David is our special gay.
Oh, there can only be one. I got it.
I can't believe you took that money from Dan Who to say that.
Grab his dick and twist it!
Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude.
You twist that dick!
Twist his dick!
Even though that's the most successful video, you'd think
all the tea in the ocean. I swear. All of it's going in the ocean. Kenny, what Superman figure did you pick up this week?
So, here's a good look at my red cyborg Superman. Still don't have for the collection, but
Disappointed!
kaiju on the left.
Yeah.
There's not a thought behind those eyes.
No.
Not a single thought.
Cool party.
Your Boys Got Toys is back. And
babe, Justin just doubled my salary.
oh shit.
Well, number one. I'm number one.
look, it's not easy to jump from a moving vehicle onto another moving vehicle. Okay, yeah, their injuries will happen.
What a piece of junk.
David, this company is the go-to for highly articulated anime figures.
Using Yamaguchi?
David! Come on! David, you were right above the rim. I tossed you the ball and then you swatted it.
David, this company is the go-to for high.
No way. This is poetic. This is poetic AF.
For highly articulated anime figures, such as Dragon Ball. Timer started.
Stage figure arts?
Got it right. Congratulations.
Okay.
He had a whole year to prepare for that.
Woo! I mean, I've been haunted by that in the intro of the show every...
Flames on the side of my face.
This is a holiday for family.
David, so this isn't my turn, so I'm just gonna bring David. I want you to look at around me. Do you see pictures of my family in this room?
Thank you so much for being my friends.
Saturday night and we're live at night. Yeah. Saturday night and we're live at 9. It's Saturday night and we're live at 9. You know that means it's justified. Just Justin collects, making the connect. Kubo has 2 strings, don't disrespect. Andrew is a Jedi, but he's seeing the dark side. Down in the basement for the 28th time. Now there's David, Evan, and Smith. 3,000 action figures for the toy sluts and basic bitches. Your boys got toys to bring the noise. Love the imports, but McFarlane he avoids. And counterculture is in the space. Superman for days, like it's a race. Now that's justified. justified. Now that's justified. Saturday night and we're live at 9. Saturday night and we're live at 9. Saturday night and we're live at 9.
Andrew, entertain the chat. Welcome, everybody, back to Collecting Justified, episode 72. I'm excited for this one. We have an amazing guest, and we have another guest, too. So one person that may have been here quite a few times, and another person that you've seen around but hasn't been on this show, and also a co-host that said he couldn't come, but then he saw the great guests we were going to have, and he decided he just couldn't miss out. But I'm not going to sit here and yap. Let me bring up my first co-host up right now, David Evan Smith. David, how's it going?
Going all right. I don't have any leaks springing in my apartment. I'm collecting and running out of space. I'm on vacation from work. So the hat, because Vacation David has not done his hair in a day or two. So, yeah, but I'm good.
And that's the famous hat. That's the hat that's in most of the graphics, I think. Let me see. And the disappointing David overlay. Let me see. Where is that? The
Yup.
Yeah. There we go. Disappointed.
I love this hat. This was a gift. From somebody at an old retail job that I had.
Oh, nice. David, we're not alone. We've got your boys got toys. Alexi, what's going on, man?
David, the Hundreds is a classic streetwear brand. Do you also have like LRG stuff? Or I was an LRG guy myself. I didn't have a lot of Hundreds stuff.
No.
Are you familiar with the Hundreds, the brand of your hat?
No. Literally, legit. The employee at my store was wearing this hat, and I was like, "That's a really cool graphic. I would love that hat. If you can get another one, let me know." And then he just gifted me his, which is
you
like,
saw it and you were like, "I love Mario."
No, I like the little bomb with the face on it. I think he's so cool.
The twist, David, is he stole that hat. He hadn't even paid for it, and so he just handed it to you. So then you stole that hat,
So
and the
now
authority
I'm the target.
will be on their way here soon. Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Well, guys, somebody we thought wasn't going to be here, but here he is. This background might be looking a little different. If you caught the recap, you might know why, but I'm sure he'll fill us in. Encounter Culture Kenny.
Oh.
He's muted.
Muted.
Sorry, guys. I don't know how this is going to sound. I have a large fan going on in the crime scene behind me. I quit collecting, right? So I sold everything and I put up this tarp. Isn't it beautiful?
Like a bunch of bullshit to me. That's what it sounds.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Am I coming through okay?
Yeah.
You
There's a
guys
little
hear
bit of
the
background
loud fan?
noise,
Okay.
but I think your mic's doing its best to cut it out.
I'm working on the settings here, yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
You sound great. Still, super smooth as butter.
All
right. So, guys, let's bring in. Which one should we bring in first? Let's see here. I don't know.
The real guest.
The real guest.
cool one.
Okay. Cleva's Multiverse. Cleva, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
It's always
good
fun
to
to have
be
you
here.
around.
Good to be here.
This is
Definitely.
the third time. Are you getting tired of us yet?
Nah, not at all. Every time I come, it gets better than the last time. So, if I got the time to do it, I definitely make it happen.
It's always a blast, man. It's always a blast. But Cleva, someone's coming in to kind of undercut you, I guess, a little bit. He begged me to come on. I'm like, sure, whatever, man, whatever. It's Laurenz, the Blactor. What's up, Laurenz?
I'm appearing here. Okay, 5 seconds has passed since you said my name, but the amount of disrespect I've received within the 5 minutes that this stream has been live is insane.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I did to anyone other than, just proudly be myself, and I'm being attacked for it.
Is Laurenz the Craig of this group?
Whoa!
Wow.
Maybe.
Wow, that might be the worst insult you've gotten so far, Laurenz.
That's got to be racist somehow. That's got to be.
And do you feel at home knowing that this is streaming like on my channel, like normal, but Kenny also streams this over on his channel in vertical? Do you feel like at home, like on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm looking over at like when I first hopped in here and I saw the vertical thing, I was like, hold on, let me move to that because that's my format. I gotta get comfortable here.
I do that for you, Laurenz.
It looks terrible, by the way. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm in StreamYard, like me and Kenny can both see like both. And when you look over at the other one, it's like barely everybody's head in it. It's super fun to watch.
I can't imagine anybody actually enjoys watching it that way. But
Laurenz does.
I don't understand why, Laurenz. I don't understand why. But guys, so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk toys. We're gonna criticize each other's way of collecting. And no. So the facts, and I'm glad I was able to have Cleva and Laurenz both on today at the same time, because Cleva's most recent video, and his whole thing is he just says he speaks his truth, right? He's always gonna speak his truth, and it's never coming from a judgmental side of things, but it's just a being real side of things, like just looking at it from a different point of view, kind of just like stepping back and being like, okay, and trying to refocus, if you will. And even like Cleva seeing your like collection tour, I'm like, Jesus Christ, with the 3D printing and everything and the way those displays are coming together. God, man, it's insane. So I really enjoyed that. And your newest video kind of talking about collecting and just being focused and not turning into a hoarder. Because I feel like we all go through that phase at some point. I feel like we definitely do. Some of us live in that phase and we're okay with it. And then, so Laurenz, a couple of your like 30 most recent TikToks, I don't know, I can't keep up. One of them, you were like, I started redoing my display and never again. I hate it. I'm never doing it again. You see how they're standing right here, all crammed together on a shelf? You see this dynamic display I did over here? It's just eating up all this space and it's killing me. And they're just all going to stay like this now. And I'm like, okay, let's bring Laurenz on and make fun. No, I'm not make fun of Laurenz. No, because I do feel that, because money's not infinite, but you can always get more money. You can't always make more space. So
sure,
when we get into that conversation,
just put a hole in the wall.
Yeah, just put a hole in the wall. Just, extend your basement, right? Anybody seen Shawshank? Just do it that way with a spoon, a little bit every night after the stream, right, Kenny?
That's what I'm doing after this.
So, guys, we're going to get into that. It's going to be a fun conversation. But first, let's get into this housekeeping, okay? If it is your first time here, this is Collecting Justified. We go live every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the dot, never late, not even a second. Don't worry about it. Just get here at like 9:10 and you'll catch the intro, okay? But we come together, we talk toys, we have fun, because this is supposed to be fun. It's a hobby, right? And at the end of the day, we try to justify this collecting hobby that we all share in. The free Andrew from the Basement Fund is open. So, super chats and everything, it goes towards the channel if you feel so inclined, because StreamYard does charge a lot of money, a lot more money than they should. Screw you, StreamYard. But I refuse to learn Streamlabs, okay? I'm stuck in my ways, okay? You can also become a channel member if you want to support the channel, if you decide you like us enough. It is a 2-tier system. We love everyone equally, whether you're a viewer, a subscriber, which, viewer hopping up to subscriber, click the subscribe button. That doesn't cost you any money. But whether you're a subscriber, a member of the Justified or Justified MVP, we appreciate everyone here watching live and on replay. And we do make sure to go through and thank all of our channel members. Kenny, you want to, with your fans' assistance, do you want to run through the channel members real quick?
Oh, all my fans. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. First, we want to thank the Justified MVPs, kicking it off with Agent Z-Man 12 Bat, Compulsive Collector. Hopefully you're back on the stream soon, and hopefully we see you in the chat tonight. David Evan and Smith, my esteemed co-hosts, you'll see him right there. St. James, Encounter Culture, that's me. Bring Toys to Work. Dan Who Reviews, Gregory Trejo, and Home Dude to wrap up your MVPs. Moving over to the Justified, we do have Displayed Once, Kurt K, Christopher Allen, Your Boys Got Toys, Super Turk 5000, Jay's Toy Collection UK, Chi Collects, Jared Byrne, Jesse Hubbard, Justin Booth, Stu for Lunch, Cleva's Multiverse, who you'll see right down there, and Legion X to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all. Equally. All right, just want that on record.
Equally. No, nobody's part of the lesser, right? No, nobody.
That's right.
We also have our wonderful wall of guests and guys with Laurenz here tonight. He's causing me more work because now for the next guests I have to do a third page. Okay, look at all these wonderful people we've had on the show.
Does Laurenz count?
I already added him there. And Laurenz, this is just the picture I'm using for everything, by the way. So.
This picture will haunt me forever. I will never get away from this.
You should have a third page anyway, because I should have 3 spots.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Cleva, you have a different like color logo too, and then I can have another one with just your face, right? And just have you.
You know what I'm saying? I should be on page 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we can make it happen. We'll just bump Laurenz off actually right here.
What is happening?
We on page 3 together. Me and him on page 3 together.
I feel like they brought you here for like a personal attack or something. I don't know.
I don't know. And here's the wonderful thumbnail. And I don't know if everybody noticed, but going into the new year, I changed the color of the other side of the thumbnail, the main branding. Just it helps me with that color coordination, like year to year. First year was purple, then it was like that dark blue. This year it's kind of like a light greenish, like teal. So, and who knows what the next year will be, right? But all right, guys. So let's say hi to the chat real quick. There's a few people in here. Of course, David was here bright and early. Hi, David. Here early, David. You were the first in the green room, I think. No, besides Laurenz, but
New year, new me. New year, new me. Like, and I'm celebrating 1 year of being an MVP member. So it's been a year and a day since I joined as a Justified MVP. So take that, Alexi, Mr. Justified tier, like plain old Justified.
Oh,
whatever. Step up.
Sorry, I guess I'll see you on your second show. Oh wait.
Darth Sinister's in the chat as well. What's up, Darth? Home Dude. What's up, Home Dude? Blactor's here. That's Laurenz. Right there. There's Laurenz right under me. Kenny's here dropping the lightning bolts. Alexi's favorite emoji is the McFailure one. Of course, Cleva was in the chat. We've got Haley Spurlock here. We've got I really wish StreamYard would fix this. Kid likes Marvel so much, and I just want to support by subscribing and liking. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's see here. Prime to the First is here. Guys, so has everyone seen? So he's just expanding the whole diner thing. Do you see he put the high bar up for order? And he bought a McFarlane figure too. He swore me to secrecy when he told me he bought it. But the pig guy with the apron, because he said it was mine. It was our fault, David. Because we said that'd be like the perfect cook behind the counter, right? Sorry, Prime, I just outed you. But
don't order the special over there.
It fits. It fits. Greg's here too. What's up, Greg? Shit, I'm late. What's up, fellas? Cleva. Right. I've seen Greg everywhere here lately in everybody's streams. Let me scroll through. Zion.collectibles is here as well. What's up, Zion? And I'll make sure to shout everybody else out as they pile in. If you're here, say something in the chat so we can shout you out, okay? But guys, okay, so anybody got pickups? Because, we can't talk about stuff that hasn't come out yet or anything like that, any news or anything like that, without appreciating what we've most recently gotten. Everybody got something they would like to show off tonight? No? Nothing for Alexi? What about our esteemed guests? Laurenz, I'm giving you a hard time. Let me bring Laurenz up first, okay? Laurenz needs some love, okay? Laurenz looking kind of purple with the lighting. This kind of Thanos-y Right here. I don't know what's going on. Is that a TikTok filter?
No, it's just the way that it's just poor lighting. It's just poor lighting.
It's okay. I stream with a broken ring light, my friend, for the past year and a half. So, so it's all good. But Laurenz, you got any pickups you want to show off?
No, not really. I got something coming tomorrow, but that's pretty much.
Oh.
I should have lied. Hold on, yeah. Hold on. So I have hundreds of action figures that I got today. I did all of this today.
That's too much, Laurenz.
These rules don't make any sense. I got oh shit. I got I don't have his leg, but I have most of him. And I opened him on Kenny's stream. So
what happened to his leg?
I don't have the leg yet.
Okay. Okay, I thought you broke it. I thought this was okay. Never mind.
I panicked.
Cool. So what is that?
It's a combiner Transformers. So yeah, you got to buy this one's a total of 6 different guys put together. And so the last one, I just haven't bought the leg yet because I haven't found him in the store, which is my goal, is to find him in the store and buy him.
Wait, so you don't buy a figure and get a free piece with it? You just have to straight up buy the Build-A-Figure piece? Has Hasbro gone too far?
No. They're 6 individual guys, right? That can be the smaller robots just hanging out. And then they go, oh, hold on, we got to fight something crazy now. And then they all combine together to make one bigger robot.
Oh, I love Voltron.
Or Power Rangers Megazords.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm going to carry the theme into Just Justified. I don't know shit about Voltron, never seen it. Power Rangers, never seen any Power Rangers. I'm going to get kicked again.
Not even bringing him back this time.
About time. It's about time. God, that was enough of that.
It's blasphemy, Laurenz. Blasphemy.
I don't even know how I'm friends with any of you guys. Like, I don't know what we have in common. Sometimes I don't know.
Trauma. I think it's shared trauma from collecting. I think that's
pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, Laurenz. Good shit. All right. Cleva. You got anything you want to show off, my friend?
Well, I'm kind of shortchanged this week because of the whole, redoing my room like last week. So I kind of put all the effort into that. But I do got a couple of stragglers that came in. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, so this is my second one. I have a second Catwoman now.
Oh.
And I mean, nothing crazy that you haven't seen before. And I already have her, but I got it for Christmas, and then I already had bought it too, so I didn't know that. And then
you thinking maybe keep one in package? Or
well, the thing is, I don't really. Whenever I do get a second figure, I always think about trying to let it go, not sell it, trade it to somebody, right? So I know a lot of people looking for that figure too. They're looking for all 4 of them. So if I can trade it to anybody for anything I don't have, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And that's that's what I would like to do with it.
And McFarlane's been going up in the aftermarket, so.
And that wave's kind of hard to find. So did the gifter tell you, hey, you better enjoy this because it was a pain in the ass to get?
Yeah, so the one I got for a gift, I actually opened that one, right? And this is the one that I bought, and I used it like that, so that way they could always feel like, I didn't move your stuff, So I have all 4 of them. Maybe for the penguins, maybe if somebody comes across and they have the little penguins and they say, hey, I'll get a ticket for having, something like that. I swap that. But that's what I do whenever I get an extra figure, whatever. That's what I'm thinking of. Like I should hold on to this because somebody's gonna want this, and I might could get something I want. I need some leverage, a little trade bait.
Yep.
I love blockies, right? I haven't opened this one yet.
Ooh, is that
the Action Force Optimus Prime? You know what I mean? So I love Transformers, and then the last thing I got, probably the best one out of all of them, but I did open them because there's no way I was gonna leave them in the box, was the Studio Series 86 Soundwave.
Ooh.
So he just came in 2 days ago, and I opened them up real fast, put them on the shelf. This one just came out. But no Marvel Legends. It's all been about Transformers right now, and I guess that McFarlane. That's pretty much it for reason. I just got him this week, 2 days ago.
Nice. All right. Let's see here. Kenny, besides a new wall, what have you got this week?
Yeah. So I actually don't have any action figure pickups this week, but I do have a very special pickup from this week. Not that back there, but so I've been watching a lot of Cleva stuff with the 3D printing. Collecting Rush and Dan Who have been talking about their 3D printing adventure over the past few weeks. So I did pick up a 3D printer this week.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, hold up. What printer? What printer?
The Bamboo Labs P1F. Yeah. So,
That's it. That's it. You in the family.
Is that the one
Bamboo
you
Labs,
suggested?
I think that the Bamboo Labs, anything in Bamboo Labs is excellent. The ecosystem is friendly, is easy to learn. Anything from the A1 up to the top, I think you're good to go. I got no money for this. I'm not getting sponsored by them or anything. I have 2 Bamboo Labs printers.
It's great. So I've been printing risers, David. Risers. Okay.
Wow.
Risers.
David has
knows something
risers?
about risers.
I do have risers.
Please don't tell me they're still not in your collection. Oh my god.
You know
this is
they're
only
not.
day 2 of my vacation. I need time. You know?
So with everyone doing all this 3D printing, at what point who's gonna like go out of their way to print like, I don't know, something like really neat, like maybe a Power Rangers command center? Like that'd be really cool.
I thought you were going to say cuppies because you're not doing it, so you want us to 3D print.
I thought he was gonna outsource the copy business.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you know, it's a thought. It's a thought, you know. All right. Kenny, is that it?
That's
is
it.
that it? Like a 3D printer is not a huge
Yeah,
pickup.
just
Is
a-
that it?
Is that how you got it?
Jesus.
That's an excellent move right there.
Nice. Well, I look forward to seeing what comes of all the 3D printing, Kenny. Maybe 3D print entire shelves, right? Entire shelves.
Yeah. If I could 3D print some walls, that might help. We'll see how
Pipes?
that goes.
3D print some pipes?
and walls.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. So Alexi said he's got nothing, right, Alexi? So we'll just go to
I'll
David.
show off what I'm fiddling with here on the table.
Okay.
It's a toy.
Oh,
It's
I
a
don't think we
toy.
can Oh, well, that doesn't make me feel too much better.
So I am messing around with the Marvel Select Super Scroll Black Bolt Edition. I'm redoing my Galactus display. Shout out Collecting Rush. So I got all my space figures here on the table. So I'm looking for good poses tonight.
That's dope.
Nice. A little bit of desk candy, right? All right. David, what did you pick up this week?
Well, a couple things. Not so much figures, but some set pieces.
Some risers?
No more risers than what I've got to still make use of. But I did buy a car. I bought a 1/12 scale
classic
1959 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. I've already taken it out of the box, so it's like sitting, in the living room, like with some figures posed with it. I sent some pictures to you guys earlier, but
yeah, looks like it scales pretty good, right?
It does. There's just no leg room, so like I can't sit the figure behind the wheel, like under with the legs fitting in. So I'm gonna have to like get creative with the posing and the
sorry, David,
how I photograph it from angles and stuff. But like the trunk opens, the hood opens, the doors open, and like the seats kind of angle a little bit. So it's fun. It's a fun piece. It's a good way to.
David, StreamYard absolutely hates you. It absolutely hates you.
Well, it's funny when you first kicked Laurenz out, Kenny was like the main one on my screen until you went to Kenny. Then it became Cleva on my screen when you were talking to Kenny, and then it was Cleva again while I was talking. But now it's me. So
okay. So I'm hearing that it's your phone's fault. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I'm hearing that it's your fault that you don't know how to manage the stream, but it's not new news. It's not new news.
I don't mind.
So this is a Star Trek Enterprise deluxe diorama piece that came with the 4 different pieces came with 4 figures. from like the premiere episode, I think, was a broken bow. I didn't watch the show, so Laurenz, you know, you're not the only one that hasn't watched things. But this is
Who
really
made
cool.
that?
So you can get pieces that connect to build the bridge, and it's a really cool, just generic kind of command center with screens and buttons and things, and comes with the chair, and the chair slides back and forth from the desk. So I have a little makeshift comic Peggy Carter.
If only it curved the other way and was like more blue tinted.
That's what he said.
And had like, you know, a giant blue head guy in a jar.
But
so who makes those, David? The company? Is that Nacelle?
Art Asylum.
Art Asylum. And you said those were Star Trek figures?
Yeah, Star Trek. If you eBay search Star Trek Broken Bow Art Asylum, like there's 4 different deluxe figures that come with different parts. Like there's 2 of this that are like on either side of the central piece, which is the captain's chair. So I ordered those 3 parts, and then there's a 4th part that like sits in front of the captain's chair, like the navigational console of the bridge. So I didn't bother to get that one, but I've gotten the 2 of these so far. I didn't get the captain's chair yet, but I did buy it.
Nice.
But yeah, it's do you find it?
I had a question about the car, actually, David.
Oh.
How does that car compare to the Bratz car? Because it looks similar, and the Bratz, do you know what I'm talking about? The Bratz car a couple years ago.
It, but I never saw it in a store to like check it out.
But that wasn't like an option that you decided not to get instead, or?
No, you know, I don't know. I don't even really know how I ended up buying this, but I think I was scrolling eBay and I saw it. And I was like, oh, it's a 1/12 scale pink Cadillac car.
It looks like Elvis's Cadillac.
Right? Yeah. It might. I mean, did he drive a 1959
Caroline and I had a picture from our wedding in that Cadillac.
Oh, that's why you got it, David.
I'll sell you this, Kenny.
Thank you.
We'll discuss pricing.
Okay. Well, now that you know their sentimental value, I don't want that price.
Listen.
What else you got, David?
What's that?
What else you got?
I also got some soft goods, which I just opened right before the stream. So this, I don't know if you can see, is the Gambit crop top from X-Men 97.
Oh, nice.
To hide that ugly
hinge. I also got this jacket.
Leon S. Kennedy.
For collar. And a blue generic cape, which is probably going to go with my Warlord Xavier and the Shi'ar display. Give him a little life. And then I've also been working on a little bit of customs. So I started this one off. With some more hair.
What hair is that?
That is Dark Phoenix. Retro
Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
Like
no
that.
paint, just straight up.
That goes.
Yep,
nice.
straight up transferred to the head.
Hell yeah. And that's the Target Mystique?
Yeah, I'm trying to go for like the X Factor costume when she kind of looked like Rogue's costume, but in white. So it's not done, but I'm gonna continue to work towards that.
What about the bands around her waist and leg?
From Red Widow.
Okay.
Nice.
Those little straps from Red Widow figure. And then most of you know this, and I was posting about it yesterday, but I completed a comic Mantis figure.
Looks so good,
Dave.
Thank you.
How did I put it when I said your level of creativeness and talent disgusts me? Right.
Yes, and I think it was a compliment.
It was.
David, I do have to insist that you tell the chat and the viewers where the green and the yellow came from on that figure, because I'm still flabbergasted that you made them.
Well, the green is from the Gwen Stacy jackets.
Wow.
And the yellow is all from 2 Jubilee jackets.
Wow.
So I had to cut a lot of strips for her skirts.
Crazy.
But yeah, I was like holding the jacket up against the figure and figuring out which fold of the jacket would kind of cup her upper part the right way to like.
You could say boob.
Yeah, well, it's more than just like it needs to wrap around the side, and like then there's a separate jacket piece that I cut for like under the ab articulation, like under the diaphragm joint on the waist, and I wanted the strands to kind of float a certain way, and they don't, but you know, it kind of gave me the vibe that I was looking for. So,
how about the red triangle?
That was from a Red Widow cape. So,
okay.
There's one cannibalized Red Widow figure that has given straps to Mystique, and I did a cloth cape on Red Widow, so that traffic cone cape, I just kind of don't care about chopping that up. But
yeah, California Red Devil in the chat says Jubilee is disposable anyway.
See, I'm sure Rich M, if he ever watches this, would disagree. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been busying myself with. Some little accent pieces to update the displays.
Nice pickups, David. Nice. Let's see here. Before we go to me, I want to catch up in the chat real quick. Let's see here. I know Rowdy Riles popped in. What's up, Rowdy? St. James as well. What's up, St. James? Christopher Allen's here. And let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Dan, who's here? What's up, Dan? And I said hi to Prime. Let me scroll down. Of course, California Red Devil, Alexi brought up. He did say your hat's the bomb, David, by the way. Let's see here. And Jason's here as well. What's up, Jason? Okay. So, guys, my pickups have been very scarce. I've been good. I've been selling a lot more than I've been getting. But I went ahead and shipped my big bad pile of loot with some stuff that's just been sitting in there from all the clearance sales before Christmas and all that. And I did a little video on these pickups. And so I got Electro. You know, I missed out on it the first time. I wasn't going to pay those stupid aftermarket prices. I can't believe that this figure got so expensive on the aftermarket. Like having newer figures in hand now and then getting this one, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
People were really out there spending $70 on this. That's insane.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Because mine's looking very sellable right now.
Right?
Didn't they do a reissue of that though?
Yeah. $25.
So, Alexi, you're out. You're out. I'm sorry.
Damn it. Never mind.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, Kane. So I broke my rule, guys. I know I say Spider-Man animated series only, right? But I've got Scarlet Spider on the shelf because Scarlet Spider was in that last saga, you know, with Madam Web and everything, makes an appearance. But the animated series, if it had gotten renewed for one more season, this is one of the characters we would have gotten. So, and he's a cool design. So I like Kane. So I'm going to work him into the animated display, right? So justifying it. Justification.
That's a rule you made for yourself, Justin. It's okay to change the rule.
I know.
You know?
I know.
None of us place this limitation on you of what you're allowed to buy.
Somebody needs to. Somebody fucking needs to.
I'm sure your wife.
Then, so McFarlane, right? It's a love-hate relationship, a like-hate relationship, I guess.
What
Just
Captain Carrot did you pick up this week? Oh,
no, I got the Henry Cavill Superman.
I figured it was the pig, but all right. Nice. So,
I do have that on order, though. I do have the pig on order. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go with the other movie figures, the other Supermen, as like its own little display with just the movie figures, because
you backtrack on that. Like that's not a.
This was on clearance on Big Bad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So
clearance.
Yeah, it was like $15 or something like that. It was the 2-pack that came with this piece of shit. This waste of fucking space.
It was 15. The 2-pack.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Nobody wants Doomsday. Yeah.
No.
Is it still there? I might actually. I'd never bought that because of that price and that figure, but.
I think it went up. I don't know what it's at right now. It's definitely not back up to 70. Who spent $70 on this? Check
thanks for
yourself
letting us know. We could have gotten it for 15, Justin, before it went back up.
This Titan Hero piece of shit. This
trash.
God.
Trash.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I looked on Mercari and one sold for like $28 the other day. So on Mercari you go. And if anybody wants to buy it for whatever, it's a piece of crap. But I got the Superman. The Superman's fine. It's fine. It's a McFarlane figure. You know what you're getting, right? You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
The big purchase, of course, was the Sentinel. Just the one, that's enough. It's going to be the centerpiece of the X-Men display. So the plan, guys, is to put it on the Super Musk on that display when that gets in. I'm a little worried now with the weight. This thing's it was Jay's Toy Collection UK that was like, it's a little hollow and light. And it's pretty hefty.
Some decent weight, yeah.
Yeah. The legs aren't hollow, Jay. You might want to see if Hasbro let you trade yours in.
Too soon, Justin. That picture I posted today, that was right there. Okay, that display with the Sentinels. I just put it up yesterday, and I had to take it down today. So
it's okay. So it's damaged too, as a tribute, Kenny. So I don't know if you noticed that.
Good call. Yeah. But you like it though, right? It's nice. It's a good piece.
It's so nice. Dude, awesome dad moment, right? I was unboxing, so it came in a big box. You unbox that box. Then it's the shipping box. You unbox that box. Then it's another box. You unbox that box. And finally, when I got to the X-Men box, my 5-year-old sees the X-Men logo and starts humming the X-Men tune, the X-Men song. I was like, oh, yes, I've done right. I've done right. All right. And
that's beautiful. Yeah.
It's so cool. I'm a little worried about the articulated fingers like loosening over time, like holding figures and stuff. They're not too tight, but they're not too loose. They're at least better than what was it? Was it Jazzwares that used to do like articulated like hands? I think it was like the Fortnite line and some that those were really loose.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy. And David went by Walmart the other day, right? You've been showing off the art pieces. The what are they called? It's like the little mystery balls.
Yes, mini brands, masterpieces.
Yeah, mystery balls. Yeah.
Mystery balls. Let's find
So I
out
got
what.
2.
Okay. Did you empty those balls?
I did.
Okay. Where'd you get?
Got this one.
Nice.
I'm not showing them in any particular order. I'm pulling them out of a Ziploc bag. So, got the variant of the Mona Lisa.
Oh wow, I don't have that. Okay.
Who wants that? That's
It's funny. It's funny at least. I gotta say, I'm really impressed by the quality. Right? It's like actual.
Absolutely right. It feels like it's like a tiny little painting. It feels good. The canvas feels like a real canvas. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's on actual canvas, and it's kind of a pain in the ass that you have to wrap it and put it together yourself. But peeling the plastic off is mainly the pain in the ass, especially around the edges of the flaps before you fold them. But
maybe there's a treasure map underneath.
Maybe. Now I need a Nick Cage figure, right? Let's see here. This one. I think Kenny pulled 3 of these last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have it right now.
Ship in the distance or no?
Yeah, there's a ship.
See,
so that's
the variant. Yeah.
I got the stand.
Nice.
Easel.
That's cool.
Classic easel.
With the paintbrush, it's somewhere in the bottom of the bag. I was really hoping for a crate with a crowbar.
You didn't get one in either of the 2 balls?
Nope.
I have crates, so I think we can start to trade duplicates if you got any. Yes, and is that a chinchilla or not?
Yeah. This is the Ed Chinchilla variant, Kenny.
Yeah, I absolutely need that one, and it was not. I mean, not me, but somebody. Ed needs it.
Kenny, when you get your cuppies, this will be in the package with it.
So yeah. All right.
And this one. Yeah, I was showing these to my wife because I was like, it's like, Cleva, I know you can relate to this. It's like opening trading card packs. Oh, what am I gonna get? The mystery thing. I was all excited showing my wife with the checklist, the ones I got. She was like, how many did you buy? I was like, just 2. They come with this many paintings. It's so cool.
Another one.
She said this one creeped her out.
Really?
and then this is the last one, just like the sunflowers.
Okay.
I really wanted the waves because I said it reminds me of like the beginning of the Kubo movie, but without the dolphin, right? And I think Kenny pulled like 2 of the ones with the dolphin.
I have duplicates of the regular wave, Justin. We can figure that out.
Okay. Cool. I got the paintbrush. I'm scared to death I'm gonna lose and my 1-year-old's gonna swallow. So.
But did you see that the point of the brush can dip into the paint palette?
Like that? Really?
Yes.
That's sick.
So cool.
Such good stuff.
This is fun, man. Like and they're like perfectly like 1/12 scale.
Right.
Everything but the magnifying glasses, right?
And the sculptures are not probably.
I'm pretty sure the magnifying glass is just so when you put it together, you can see where the lines
What if
so.
you put them like cartoony, kind of cartoony size with some
Jinkies.
figures?
Does it fit in grip hands for him?
I don't have the grip hands on him, but I'm sure it would.
It should. The handle's like thick enough.
Yeah. So that's like a perfect kind of cartoony size for a Jada Scooby-Doo figure, I think.
Awesome.
Definitely.
So, solutions around here, nothing but solutions.
Kenny, did you figure out how to frame the art?
I did. I see
good.
it. Look.
Okay.
So, I messaged David earlier in the week because when I was unpacking my balls last week, I just threw all the instructions away.
Oh no.
It's like, David, I don't know what to do with this. What do I do? Like, because peel. So I just started peeling things, and then it was sticky, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep peeling things. And on the first one though, I did rip the top piece of the you know how the canvas overlays, so it goes like on the top and then it goes around the back. So I like ripped all the back pieces off, but I don't know why they put a perforated edge on that anyway. But anyway.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense. I started to rip my first one.
I got it.
Do you guys not look online to see, or like on YouTube to see what other people are doing with them?
No, I just like to.
You have to understand, we're old men. We don't like it's not
struggle for a couple of days, figure it out.
We're the generation that did not. We
you didn't ask for
willfully
directions.
did not use maps. Well,
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
where to go.
Yeah, I got there, right?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But I think this has started like a new like little addiction of just trying to like get certain ones and stuff. And
You
it's
want
fun.
certain art pieces, and like I bought. I'm not ashamed to say I bought 12 balls in like 2 days, and
You could probably
but
resell
I'm
some of
still
your duplicates.
Getting new ones, like I was still getting new versions of the art things I wanted, and like there's a lot of good iconic known art pieces in that mix. So it's fun. It's a worthwhile, fun thing. You could spend your money on worse things that are more destructive or more fleeting. And it's art. You're classy for having it.
You're finally buying art, gentlemen.
Finally.
Look at
All
us,
right, guys.
We're
So
very cultured.
very, very cultured around here. Very cultured. So, guys, with that, I think we can get into the main topic or main discussion. So, Cleva, I was watching your video, and when you were talking about basically, I don't know, man. Whenever I watch your videos, it's like it always hits home. It's like, okay, Cleva put out a new video, and I'm like trying to work usually, and I'm listening, and I have to stop and look at the phone because I feel like you're just talking to me, right? I feel like you put your hand on my shoulder. You're like, listen, we got to talk about this, okay? Because collecting can really get out of control real quick. Because you start out with the nostalgia stuff, and then it's like, oh, wait, this line put out this cool figure. This line put out this cool figure. And before you know, you're just running out of space. And it's like, well, and going into 2026, me and the guys talked last week. It's like, we got it. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I'm like, I've got a super must coming. I want to start doing more dynamic displays. I got to start getting rid of some of this stuff. Like what really matters to me. Right. I don't want it to look too cluttered. I don't want it to just be the mess in the floor. It's a mess in the floor right now because I haven't organized and stuff's drug out for taking pictures and everything. But I eventually want everything to have its place and not be overwhelmed when you walk in here because it's supposed to be a fun hobby. You shouldn't feel overwhelmed in your collection room. But you were talking about more like just your whole thing is like collecting with purpose. And you take so many people in the community, Kenny, today have went into the 3D printing realm now too, where you can just customize even further. I just wanted to hear more from you on like your thought process going into the new year and how you see your collection going further into 2026.
Yeah, sure. I mean, first and foremost, I want to say, like, whenever I write these topics, right, I always get a little nervous. I'm like, man, I wonder how this is gonna land. You know what I mean? Or if people are gonna get defensive or whatever. But then I always take it from a place where I'm patient zero, so I'm going through this. I'm not exempt from any of this, and I said that before. So I'm like, if I'm going through this, I can't be the only one that's going through it or feeling this way. There's no way, because I'm not on an island by myself. You know, I think just people ain't saying nothing about it. So let me just speak upon it and try to do it respectfully. I get caught up in that too, because the thing is like, we start off with this nostalgia thing or whatever reason that got you in the first place. And whatever that reason is, you look a few years later, that reason's out the window. Like I started off with the Flash CW TV show. Like that's been done. Like, but that's what pulled me in initially. And the thing is, if we don't have these rules in place, it's kind of easy to get sidetracked. So what I think about first and foremost always is like newer people coming into it, because I'm already stuck in this game, right? I'm already collecting. I'm already invested. It's obvious, right? I'm not going anywhere. Well, how can I sustain that? Then with the higher prices going up, and it's harder for people to jump into the game because we need newer collectors to jump in to stay with us, because I'm not buying as many figures as a newer collector would. There's no way. I don't need all the things that he has, that he needs. You know what I'm saying? When I first started, I would come home with garbage bags. Now I look at everything like it's garbage. There's a difference. You know what I mean? When you first start, you're kind of like, I need everybody. So we always need those people to jump in the game. And I always think to myself, man, if I want this hobby to be successful, I want to try to help people, because we got two different sides of the coin. We got people who may be jumping into it, watching what's going on online, saying, I got to keep up with that. That's what this is. This is what I'm trying to do. And they'll get burnt down in 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. All of our collections, everything that we have behind us is time and years in the making. Nobody went out there, even with a tax refund. If I gave you $10,000 right now and I said, yo, get everything you got right now. My fault. I just knocked it all over. Buy it all over. You couldn't buy it all over. You can't, even with the money. It's a time and investment. It's a time and a place, nostalgia, memories, all of those things come into play. Somebody watching, we live in a time of instant gratification. They may look and just say, oh, I want that. And think that they're going to go out there with a paycheck and do this. You know what I'm saying? And people try. And then they'll get burnt out. And then they say, I don't want to do this no more. On Facebook, selling my whole collection, which is like 20 figures, but he's all out of it, right? Then we got somebody else who may be looking in and be like, damn, this may be something I do want to get involved in. Then they look at it and they're like, man, look at all these things I got to do. Forget it. I'm not even trying to jump in. He was just a little bit smarter than the other guy. You know what I mean? And then now we lost both of those people. You know what I mean? And I try to look at it like that. And then I'm in it and I'm like, it's not sustainable myself. And I think it's part of a responsibility that I have if I'm going to be on camera and talking about the culture and talking about collecting. I think it's part of my responsibility to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. These are things I'm dealing with, I don't buy figures I don't like, but then at the same time, I have a problem when I watch people and they never have a figure that they don't like. I'm like, what? Come on, son. There's something else going on here. You know what I mean? And there's somebody's watching who's probably just like, I got to be just like that, right? Like if you told me you love that Doomsday right now and everything you did was Multiverse and you love Doomsday, I would be looking at you like, you don't love that figure, fam. You know what I mean? I think we all know what that feeling is.
Somebody has.
We all know we watch somebody and we're like, you don't believe that shit. You know what I'm saying, like, what are you talking about? And that's what I try to do, And I try to be like, I guess that'll be my voice. Let me just speak on that because that's what I'm really going through. So I just cleaned out my whole room and doing a lot of things and moving things. And I'm starting to ask myself, well, where does this go? And why is this here? You know what I mean? And I use Strong Guy as an example in my video because I was like, yo, I hustle for Strong Guy. I got 6, And if you don't have, it took 6 figures to get him or whatever. If you don't have Strong Guy, that's one thing, I get it. But I see a lot of people just doing too many backflips talking about, the barbell and the head. A barbell and the head is not worth $50. I don't care what kind of collection you got going on. You know what I'm saying? At this point, that's not, to me, that's not like, especially if you're going to sell the other one. Because if you're going to keep it and you want to be the archivist and have 50 strong guys. Okay, I'll vibe with you. But if you're telling me you're doing it just for that, I kind of feel like it's something deeper. You know what I mean? And because I'm not willing to do it, I'm like, that's not enough for me. You know, especially now where we can just 3D print our own barbell. Like, it's not that deep. I could 3D print a barbell while I go to the bathroom, come back, and it's done. You know, so I just try to look at those things because I think that if we don't talk about those things, then the hobby's not going to be sustainable for anybody. You know, another point about it is like, you know, I think I said, like I talk about a lot of times when I say it's very hard when you collect figures and then you start a YouTube channel. Things get intertwined very fast. And if you're not careful, if you're not watching what's going on, you start going from purchasing for nostalgia purposes and purchasing because I want these figures to purchasing because of content, and purchasing because I need to do this, or you think you need to do this. You know what I mean? That burns people out too, because I see people like they will buy figures like, this guy's trash, or, you know, falling this or whatever it is. And I'm like, the brain, I'm like, well, why did you buy it? You knew all of that when you looked through the window in the box. I saw the digital render, and I knew everything you saw. Right? But then you're going to say, well, it's my job, right? I'm going to say, no, it's not your job because you're not paying your rent on this. You want it to be your job, and you're already getting frustrated, and you're just trying. But I don't care about him, to be honest with you. I care about the people that he's talking to, because now people are listening. People like my son. The reason I don't curse on my channel and stuff like that is because I want to be able for my 6-year son to watch my channel. So I never want to do nothing online that I'm not proud of that my son can't watch. So that's my rule right there. That's how I do it. You know, and people like that are watching. They sucking up that McFarlane ain't nothing, or whatever this and third. It's not McFarlane's fault that you went to Walmart, you had no content, you turned around, only thing there was a clearance Batman, and you felt like you had to buy that. You know, because that's the energy I really do get, you know, when it's like that. And then if you have, like I said, if I see you just buying every single figure in existence and you never met a figure you don't like, fam, that's not authentic to me. Listen, if you collect Jordans, right? And I like Jordans. I don't collect Jordans, but I like Jordans. I have certain ones. I know there's people who do collect Jordans. You might ask that person, well, which Jordan you like? You know, I like the 8s, I like the 7, I like the 12s, the black and reds, I like the white. Boom. If I meet somebody that tells me I like every single Jordan in every single color, in every single wave, number 1 through whatever, I kind of got to be like, really? I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that you even believe that. I just believe that you think that's a thing. And I think there's too many people that's doing that. I see too many people that like everything and don't like anything. And it causes me to ask, well, what's the last thing you didn't like? Like, what's the last thing you didn't? What's the last thing you passed on? You know what I mean? And the reason why, like I said, I don't care about that person per se, but I think that we need to be mindful of people are watching us. Younger people are watching us. People want to be impressionable. And that's what people are impressionable. And that's what I said about in the video. I said, what I see is a lot of YouTube collections. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at people, my collection before I started YouTube is different. You know what I mean? This background right here, this particular wall is made for YouTube, without doubt. You know what I mean? They look totally different than the rest of them. You know, this is what fits in a square. And I think about that. It never changes though. You know, but when I was collecting and I wasn't doing YouTube, I didn't care about lights. I didn't care about certain things. I just cared about, it was more fun and carefree. And I feel like a lot of people want to jump into the YouTube, then it turns into a job, quote unquote. And then, you know, the whole mind state shifts. And I think the culture shifts with it. And then people don't want to say anything because to say anything is to expose everything I just said, which means that they got to look in the mirror and they go like, really? That's what you was doing in that clearance aisle? Looking for content, my brother? Why don't you just think about something? You know what I'm saying? They don't want to look in the mirror. So, you know, this is why I even stopped taking pictures of new releases of things I get. I stopped taking pictures of them, put them on my Instagram. Only sometimes. I want it to be special. Like when I do my curator's cut, it has to be special. I don't want to buy a wave of 6 and post all 6 just because. And I'm not buying all 6 just because. It has to fit what I have going on in my theme. And the thing is, when I say these things, my comment section goes crazy because it's not just me. It's not just me. Everybody feels the same way. You know, a lot of people feel the same way, but I think a lot of people are too cool for school. I'm not. Make no mistake. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem being in the corner by myself, but I'm not by myself. That's the whole thing. You know, so when I see these comments and I'm getting these long essays and they're telling me, yo, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. And I'm like, yo, I feel like we all need that. We all need a reset. We all need to just chill and just sometimes ask ourselves, why am I doing this again? Because I think a lot of people just get caught up in like, oh, I saw the announcement, got a pre-order by Thursday at 1 o'clock. Like, and it's almost like an unwritten, we like like institutionalized almost. Like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. Like, wait, slow down, buddy. And that's why I said, like, when I tell people I'm not gonna get something, they almost like, you're not. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, you could say no. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that because because what? You know what I mean? And that's what I just wanted to talk about, because if I think about it, I'm pretty sure other people are thinking about it, and it looks like that's what's going on, So I don't know. Like, that's how I feel about the topic.
Yeah.
You hear that, Laurenz? You hear that?
And I think it's important overall to, and a lot of the points you hit on, Cleva, it's important to, whether you agree or don't agree with someone's point of view, is important to not live in an echo chamber and listen to what someone else is saying, even if you might not think you like where they're coming from or where they're going with it, and really just kind of think about it, right? I have a lot of co-hosts on this channel, right? And we collect different things and we have our different opinions. And that's on purpose. You have Andrew's not here with us today, but Andrew was hardly collecting. He only collected Star Wars. He's branching out. He's like the more casual guy looking in. He's kind of our more touch and grass guy in here. That's like talking about YouTube drama or anything going on or a new release that everyone's freaking out about. And he's over there like, okay, I don't know. I'm happy with this figure. I don't understand why people don't like it. Exactly. And then so everyone's coming from a different angle, collects different things, and has their own opinion. Me, David, and Kenny all dabble in McFarlane. Alexi wouldn't mind setting it all on fire, like the entire warehouse, right? So
already tried twice.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's important to just, if you're surrounded by everyone, like everyone's just agreeing with you, you need to kind of seek out people that aren't just yesing to everything, and making sure, and that not just in collecting. I mean, that's an approach I take to life, like I want to know, well, whatever. Okay, if you have a different opinion, I kind of want to know why. I want to hear it. So I think that's, just that's the way I look at it. And that's the way I've kind of wanted to structure this show, of not just having everyone that's like, oh yeah, Justin, like Captain Carrot's awesome. It's the greatest figure ever. Yeah, I love the Kubo movie. No, everybody here doesn't agree with anything I say. So I know I'm in the right place. Everyone hates what I love. So I'm in the right place, right, Laurenz?
I think another thing that's important too, man, is like this hobby is like, it's not like basketball. Like I said last time, it's not like we have to work on our cross and we have to actually have skills or whatever. It's pay for play, right? And especially if we're showing things, we're showing the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And I like to think about the person, who doesn't have much, or just has 5 figures, or just feels like, damn, man, I don't have a collection because I don't have a wall. And I just want to be that voice of reason that says, you don't need a wall, my brother. Those 5 mean more to me and part of you than somebody with 50. You know what I mean? Like, and what about that guy? And, how's he going to feel? Because what does our hobby consist of? Like I've said this before a bunch of times on my videos, it's full of introverted people, including myself. Like, we're not the most social people, and we get more social online and stuff like that. And this hobby has brought us together. But it's full of a bunch of introverted people who are very quiet, who are just trying to find like-minded people. And if you're not careful, like, things can get diluted. People can be impressionable, especially if they're younger. And that's what I really try to focus on. My stuff can be for older people, whatever, but it's really for newer collectors and people just coming on board, because I'm thinking, what can I give somebody? And it's my experience. What have I been through? I made this mistake already, my brother. You don't even got to do this. I can tell you right now. Let me tell you how this ends up. You know what I mean? And also I try to think about the quality of it, because sometimes it's hard for me because I want to bring up examples of a lot more than I do, trust me. And it's hard because I almost feel like, okay, this is going to get blown out of context. Or if you say people are very sensitive, you know what I'm saying? We're a whole bunch of grown men, but people are very sensitive. If you don't, like you said, if I don't echo chamber, whatever you're saying, if I feel slight reverberation the wrong way, it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? So, I try to be careful of it. But when I do bring up examples and I do say people's names or whatever, it's because they already put that out there. And that's what I really see. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to tell me you don't see this. Come on, this is a very clear example, But that's what I mean. It's a difference between a collector, I think, and a YouTuber and a YouTuber collector. There's very thin lines when you start walking those. There's very thin, and you have to be careful. And I think that other people don't know that. I know younger people may not know that. You know, little kids look at us and think we're rich, right? How many kids go to your room and think you're rich? Right? Some niece that you never seen, hasn't seen in a year. This is your room? Uncle Justin's rich.
Yeah.
Right?
Where do you get all this money from?
That's it.
What do you mean all this
They
money?
idolize you. They look up to you. So whatever you say is probably gonna be golden rule. You know what I mean? You know, you're the cool uncle. So that comes with, like Spider-Man, that comes with a responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I try to look at it. That's how I justify when I'm writing these things down. I say, nah, I'm saying it. I don't care. Son. I don't care. This is what it is. If you say otherwise, I think it'll highlight you. I'm like, why don't you, hit you with a magnifying glass?
I think there's a really thin balance, or I guess a thin barrier between your collection or collecting as a hobby. I almost said habit, but collecting as a hobby being a stress reliever or being a source of stress. And a lot of new collectors, I would argue, they start out with it being a stress reliever, but very quickly it becomes a source of stress because, like you mentioned earlier, they're worried about getting that pre-order in or having the newest figure, regardless if it's like a quote unquote good figure. And a good figure in general is hard to describe because it's such a subjective term. A good figure to a McFarlane collector is something I wouldn't even wipe my ass with. But I'm not saying they're
I got
all
you,
like
Lexi.
that.
I got you.
Yeah,
totally
you know,
opposite. I get it. You're right.
Justin gets it. So I liked, even before you came on the show back in page 1, I had seen your content and I was like, oh yeah, like these are really good tips. By that time I was already like deep into collecting, and I'm a very logical person. So for me, and I started out like I had just finished college and I was like early in my career. So I didn't have a lot of money, and I did only have like 5 figures, but I played with those figures so much. And that was it. Cause I'd go to work and I'd go home and I'd like eat a little something. And the only thing I could do was go upstairs and play with my toys because that's all I could afford at the time. So I got a lot of like use out of it. And then as the collection grew, and Toy Galaxy, Dan Larson, which is no longer even Toy Galaxy, doesn't even really have toy content anymore. It's like a lot of animated series and 80s nostalgia stuff. He talked about it too. And I've mentioned it before that you go through phases of your collection where it bulks up and then you shed it down and then it bulks up again, and you kind of have to decide. But the climate that we're in financially, at least in the US, is so what's the word, volatile right now, where things are just so expensive. So like new collectors, they have big choices to make on like whether they want to pay for these things that they have to or pay for these things that they want to. And having content like this stuff that you make out there for them to at least acknowledge or for them to tap into if they want is very important, so that you can say it's okay if you don't get X figure. Like it's okay, like just get whatever, get something you want or something you can afford or something that you enjoy, and sit with that for a while, sell it if you need to or want to, and then do something from there.
Yeah, definitely. And look, let me ask you a question. Like how many there's 6 of us on the panel. I'll start first. When I started collecting, I didn't know that I was collecting. I just bought a Flash figure and I knew I wanted 2 or 3 figures. I want to ask you 5, how many from you 5, when you first started, did you start off saying I'm collecting, or is there something that you noticed that you fell into?
I thought I was just getting figures of stuff I liked. I didn't know I was building a collection. And
David,
I was born and raised to be a collector. Like we've talked about this before. Like my father is a collector of model trains and like books and magazines about trains, and he's fascinated with trains. He can illustrate trains by hand, and it's painfully accurate to like historical like window shapes and railings of trains. So like I grew up around him and seeing that when he had money and he had time, he would go to the hobby shop which sold model trains, or he'd go to a model train show and bring home a new model, and he would add it to his shelf. So I think that kind of like indoctrinated me into like, oh, this is what you do. You just have to find your thing that resonates with you. So like for me, that was comic books. I collected trading cards, and then I would read the comic books, and then animated series started to rise. So then the action figures were just a physical representation of the characters that I read about and watched on TV. And so I collected the 5-inch Toy Biz line, and like on the back of the card where they'd show you all the options of what they're putting out. The next wave is this, the next wave is that. Like I wanted to collect all of them. And that was also like really before Google searching on the internet and like finding out about characters. So I'd only learn about characters through like the trading card, like the little bio on the back of the trading card, or like I'd find a comic and this character popped up in it that I'd never seen before, but there's an action figure of him. So I'm like, oh, he must be important. So I'm going to get that. So then like I just stayed with the Toy Biz lines until it became Marvel Legends. And then that was like the next graduation from the Toy Biz 5-inch lines. And I never stopped. So like you can trace it back to, I don't know, 5-year-old me. I was customizing toys from the Toy Biz line, like painting them. Also taking cues from my dad about like making what they haven't made for you yet, you know? So like, it's always been my like Zen time and my safe space, and like, and I still cling to it and identify with it as my innocent time, you know? Like I was doing this before I was adulting, before I was paying bills, before I was paying rent, my own apartment, and like doing all the facts. You know me by now. Like, come on. Cleva always has this way of making me, at least, really introspective, and like I call him the thinking man's collector, and like, but it's important that we don't like do it out of habit, but we do it like it's more of a hobby than a habit, you know? And like it is, and I get a lot of emotional fulfillment from still participating in it. You know, it's not just like set my alarm for the 1 p.m. pre-order. It's, you know, I love building the world, you know.
And you know what's funny, like when I see that story makes perfect sense to everything that I see with your collection with the 3,172 toys displayed. When I look at you, and I really think of you as an archivist type collector, and the type of person that just wants to encompass everything that you just said. And that story makes perfect sense for what I've been believing since the beginning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I also want to say that I think that that's one of the rarest types of collectors. And yes. I believe you're one of the authentic ones, but I think there's so many more that don't have that backup story. That what you just said, that makes perfect sense to me. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah, and well, thank you for that. I am 100% genuine, and this is real. This is real. You bring that out of me, Cleva. So come back anytime.
How about EC?
Yeah, so like I've always been a collector on some level of pop culture. Like I've always just had this obsession with pop culture, right? So as a kid, it was baseball cards. In my 20s, it was vinyl. In my getting into my 30s and my 40s, that's when the like nostalgia for action figures came back, right? So I don't think when I decided like, oh, I'm going to buy a couple of action figures, I'm going to go to that extent. It started very focused. You know, I'm going to collect movie-related figures. That was it, right? And then it was like, well, man, all right, now the MCU's getting rolled. You know, that's starting to roll. They're putting out these figures. What else does Marvel Legends do? You know, so then it was like going into there. Then it's like, oh, wow. Thinking back at the comics I was reading as a kid, right? Like now I'm going into that rabbit hole and diving in that way. And that's just open floodgates, right? So I would say like the quick answer is when I started collecting action figures as an adult collector, no, it was supposed to be very focused, very, you know, small curated collection. But as I've said many times on this channel and my own, nostalgia is a son of a bitch, and I fall into it. So it's
So even though you had those passions and those interests, right? There's a difference between like you could play basketball, doesn't mean you collect basketballs, right? So like you don't have every basketball, whatever, you know. So like when you was looking at those prior interests, did you say, "Oh, I'm just like I like these things, I just want a couple of them," or do you say I'm collecting each and every one of those? It wasn't until the MCU you said that you can say that mind state really snapped in place as far as I'm getting these.
Yeah, well, because that really like took me. It got me into into Marvel Legends in general, and then from there, it was like, all right, well, I mean, we all grew up reading comics, right? You have like your favorite stuff growing up. I switching over to DC for a second, like I always had Superman figures, right? Like I always had something Superman related on display. It just was never to the state it is now. But with like Marvel stuff and going into that, it was coming out of this, you know, very much thing in pop culture with the MCU and my already established like movie and movie figure collection and collecting, that it bridged over to that. And then getting into that, hearkening back to those comics, and then just reopening that nostalgia of that, right? And I mean, I'm a very nostalgic person, to a fault, I think, a lot of times. And sometimes it's just, you see that any figure, any team, whatever, it just brings back a memory of a time and a place. And I see like a lot with music and movies, but even with the figures or anything in the display, right? Like there is a memory associated on some level. So like David likes to talk about collecting in context, right? And for me, that is how I collect in context.
Cool. How about you guys?
Go ahead, Laurenz.
For myself, collecting action figures was very intentional. I wanted to be an action figure collector. I've gotten more focused as time has gone on, but the beginning was like, oh, I just wanted figures. I was a vinyl collector first. So it was like, I had records, and of course I had the albums that I already knew. And then as artists that I liked, as they dropped a new album, I'd get that on vinyl. And then I worked in a record shop for a period of time. So it was like, sometimes it would just be like, hey, suggest me an album, you know, where you think I'd like it. I don't know. You know, I just get something I never heard, take it home, spin it. So it was like, I was a collector in that regard. And then I'm a big wrestling fan. So I tried to get into wrestling figures, hated them. Like, just didn't enjoy the figures. And it sucked for a while because I was like, man, I really, you know, I missed, because I play with my stuff, you know, I'll take them out, I'll play, mess around with them. So it's like, I wanted to have the fun of playing with the wrestling figures, but there's something didn't connect with me on that. And then sometime after Wakanda Forever came out, I got the Black Panther that came out in the Wakanda Forever wave. And I got an old Namor figure that I think was the Okoye Build-A-Figure wave. It was like, I just so happened to watch that movie and be like, you know what? I'm going to try Marvel figures. And it wasn't because of some deep connection to a bunch of Marvel comics either. Like I've been very open that like my main thing in terms of Marvel has been X-Men stuff. So like me starting with Black Panther figures was just because I was like, F yeah, I love that movie, man. And then I didn't even get direct movie figures. I just got 2 comic versions of characters that were in the movie. But it was like, I knew I wanted just to collect toys. So then I started kind of building out around there. So for the longest time, it was just, I was buying just because I just wanted to collect toys. And I ended up growing to like toys as a whole. And so then you can see like, as my collection has spread, just because I've liked buying toys and not because of nostalgia and things. Like I'm a very G.I. Joe centric collector, which is G.I. Joe was very new to me. Like I bought it just because I like buying toys.
Right, I would think so, because you're very young, right?
Yeah, so it's like, and then I got into G.I. Joe just because I got a few of the toys and was like, you know what? I could probably read what this stuff's about. Like, and so now I've got a deep, like I buy the comics and such now, but I just have enjoyed toys as a whole. It was very purposeful for me in that regard of diving into toys.
And your boy, because I want to make a point. I want to finish with you, right?
When I started, it was 2017. Like I said, I was fresh out of college. I didn't have a ton of money. And I actually started because my dad and his wife at the time, maybe like 3 or 4 years prior to that, got my brother and I a Batman and a Joker figure each, which is representative of our personalities. And I had it on card and I just had it in my room. And I was like, fuck, man, like, I got nothing to do. And then I looked it up, like how much it was worth, because I was like, should I open this, play around with it? But I don't want to mess up a value, you know, like if I need it down the road. But I realized the difference between like in-box or out of box was like a small difference if you were going to sell it. So I opened it up as a Batman figure, DC Universe Classics, played around with it. And then I was like, he needs Robin, or he needs like Nightwing or whatever. So I just got like things that I wanted to play with. Like I needed a villain to play with for a scene or like to pose around or something. And then after that, I just but I continued to get things with a purpose of either building a team or building a display. And that's still how I collect, with that in mind. And it's easy for me to think about when a figure comes out, if I'm going to build that team or like build that section of the universe, or if it's not worth it, because I don't want, and right now I'm guilty of having 2 Ultimate Universe figures with nothing on the horizon and no other figures even to go with them. So I have Ultimate Captain America and I have Ultimate Iron Man, because I like Cap and, you know, it's a cool Iron Man figure, but that's probably the smallest section of a team I have present. And when I was younger, or like my grandfather, who I lived with my grandma and grandpa growing up, and he was an archivist. Like he had a stamp collection that was huge, coin collection, Playboy collection. And he just even, what was the latest thing before he passed? Disney pins. He has like a huge collection of Disney pins. But part of my logic of not wanting this to get out of control is he's gone now, and we're stuck going through all of that stuff. And I don't know shit about stamps or coins or Disney pins. I know a lot about Playboy. But like, you know what I mean? Like we have to sort through this, and I don't want to dump it, and I don't want to devalue it by just giving it away or something. Thank you. So because of that experience and, you know, growing up like that, collecting is a natural part. And I'm an anthropologist. Like, I'm an archaeologist by trade, but like I studied anthropology, which is people and what they do, their behaviors, and, you know, stuff like that. So dinosaurs. People are natural collectors. Fuck dinosaurs. So it's very natural for people to collect stuff. And no matter where you look, people have like a small collection of something, whether they realize it or not. So I don't think collecting as a hobby is bad. It's just, you know, nothing is bad. It's your relationship with that thing that can be bad.
So if I had to look at all 6 of us right here, I would say that if it was on a spectrum, I think that David would be all on one side, EC would be right next to him, me, your boys got toys, Justin will be in the middle, and Blactor will be on the other side. So what do we see about the difference about this spectrum, if anything? It's the age.
Yeah.
So when you break it down to age,
call me old.
No disrespect. I'm probably the oldest one here. I'm probably the oldest one here. I'm 44 years old. I don't know what's going on. I'm probably the oldest one here.
Yeah, you are.
David's like 63.
David's so excited to be able to say that.
So to say that is to say that Blactor isn't by himself. Blactor represents the new generation. Blactor is, you saw what he said. He said, I came into this. I was I'm collecting this shit. What are you talking about? I'm getting this full wave. I'm getting this. I'm getting that, whatever. None of us really thought that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say there's nothing wrong and nothing right with any of these things. It's just that times are changing. And I'm mindful of it. And I know that there's people who are watching and may watch a Cleva video and will say, what's that? I need 2 detours. I want this. I want that. I want this. I want it all by Friday. That's not realistic. And I always try to tell people that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? And this is this hobby we share. It's halfway instant gratification, halfway patience as you can be. You know what I'm saying? We're playing the game of a mix of those things. You know what I mean? And most of it, they want to jump into an instant gratification. And that's what gets burnt out. That's what kills things. And then on top of that, why are things getting sold out? Why we can't get things? Maybe if everybody started beasting over things that they didn't even want in the first place, there will be availability. Maybe exclusive wouldn't be selling out. Maybe scalpers wouldn't have a job. You know what I mean? If everybody was in focus, because I can see things and say, this is great, but it's not for me. And I just feel like there's not enough of that. There's not enough of it's not for me. It's like, oh yeah, I need that too. Comes with a dumbbell. What are you talking about? I gotta have it. $50 for a dumbbell all day. And then everybody's too cool for squat. I got it. That's okay. I'm gonna sell the other one. What are you gonna sell the other one for? Let's be real. Let's talk about selling. Who here likes selling figures? Selling figures is a job. If you're not selling something in box that's worth some serious capital, or something that people are really gunning for, something that's in the moment, you're selling something that you don't even want yourself. So you're getting the new one to dish off the old one. Nobody wants the old one no more. What you gonna get for it? $20. By the time you ship it, by the time you go to the post office, I hate standing on that line. And I've literally sat on the line and be like, yo, fam, I'm doing this for like $6, man. Because at the end of the day, what are you taking home? You know, if it's not some major deal. And if you're talking about I'm gonna sell 20 figures like that, don't lie to me. You don't want to sell 20 figures. You don't want to go to the post office 20 times. And then with the people that we're haggling with, these people aren't saying $20, yeah, I got you. No, it's 20s, I can't get 19 now. What's going on, man? Like they always want to take $1 off of here. They're gonna short you. 15 people are gonna try to haggle you before the one person buys it. That's for one figure. What about the other 99 you got up on Marketplace? You know what I'm saying? This is not something I want to entertain with. So when people say, oh, I'll just sell the other one, I feel like that's a cop-out, because I'm like, how many figures have you sold? I feel like you're just saying that.
Recently,
you don't
a lot.
Nobody wants to do that. It has to be worth it. Like, yo, I'm selling these boxed in, you know, the whole Batman Returns wave with the yellow thing. That's worth it. I'm selling Galactus with a Sentinel, this and third. You know, I can see money being moved, and that's worth it. But when you're selling your old Green Lantern figure from 2004, nobody cares.
It's a pain in the ass, Prime. You know, Prime and I were talking, you know, just like via text, and I was telling him like, damn, like I just sold like $250 worth of stuff, but it took me hours. Like it took me a whole day just to set up a space, take the photos of the figures, post those photos, put a description. And like Cleva was saying, like I get stuff all the time where they're like, yeah, can I get that for nothing? And I'm like, no.
What's the lowest you would take?
Yeah,
that question infuriates me.
I used to sell on Whatnot all the time, right? So before I was live streaming on YouTube, I was live streaming on Whatnot selling figures. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's a little bit better than eBay because like I don't have to do all the descriptions and everything. I can just tell you about it there. But yeah, I mean, you're getting, all right, well, yeah, I'll take that for $5. Well, okay, well, it's $55, but sure, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So like people don't say these things. So when they say I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna get this, I got the new one. I'm like, you guys be saying it so nonchalantly, man. And it makes me want to do a video about it because I'm like, do you understand what you're talking about? Like, because I don't want somebody else to watch it. Be like, oh, I can just sell the old one. I'm like, don't listen to him. Don't listen to this guy. He's trying to justify it in his brain why he's buying a new one. He's saying it out loud. He doesn't even believe what he's saying, you know. And that's just what I try to make my videos about. You know what I mean? I sit back and I think about these things. I'm like, I don't know, man. You know.
Well, I think what I appreciate about you, Cleva, is like you make the time and the space to really stay connected to the reasons behind all of this and be self-aware. And I think that's the most important part of collecting and making sure it doesn't go out of control, because you're self-aware enough to know the difference between I enjoy collecting this or I'm compulsively spending money, you know, like I've had to question myself over the years. Like, do I need to go to a store and spend money on something to feel like I'm moving forward or accomplishing anything in life? And like, I've had to ask those questions, and there are times I buy consolation things when I go to the store, and then there's times when I pick up a box and I think about buying the G.I. Joe Diver 2-pack, and I'm like, you know, I really don't have a place for this. Like, I would just be buying it to buy it, and so then I don't do that, and I feel a little more self-aware and a little more grounded, you know. But like, we do have to ask those hard questions of ourselves sometimes. Like, I think if you can't say that you really care about what you're buying, then you should be questioning whether you're just compulsively spending money. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, John.
And I think there's some people. I don't know. Am I the only one that watches? Sometimes I go through Instagram and I go through things, and I'm like, I see people. I feel like it's just a flex, and I'm like, this is a fake flex too.
So
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
you.
as
You know
like
what I'm
the TikTok person, like what that's like the hardest thing about being it sounds pretentious as hell, but just for the sake of like being a TikTok creator in my shoes is like I don't do reviews, right? Because I think the review market one is oversaturated. When I like, what else am I going to say when everybody has reviewed Uncanny Spider-Man? So it's like I'm not going to do that. And then it's like, but also like with YouTube, you don't necessarily have to post every single day if you don't want to. But TikTok, you are rewarded from regular posting. So it's like every day it's just a guy being on there being like, you get this figure, I got this figure, I got this figure, I got this figure. And then you're just talking. And then, okay, we're out of Marvel Legends to talk about. So now it's like, I got the CT Toys this. Okay, we're out of CT Toys to talk about. I got the Mayfix this. We're out of Mayfix to talk about. Like, and it's just every day, all day, something like, get this in the comment section. And to your point,
my channel.
What
the hell, man?
It's like, and to your point, there are like young people watching some of these videos, and then you even see it to some of the point when you're going through the comments, you see like adults that are like, wow, I don't have that. I got to get that. Is it dope? And it's just a dude who's like, yeah, this is dope. Yeah, this is dope. Yeah, this is like, yeah, everything looks cool, but do you really enjoy getting this every single day and posting a video every single damn day? Like, it's too much.
Laurenz, let me tell you about the best figure I've gotten recently. Do you want it?
Hey, can you ship that to me so I can post about it on TikTok? It's gonna get mad views.
Doing a review when you want to, because it's special and it's dope and you really like it. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying, because I think that people take for granted how long these things take. Like, a 5 or a 10-minute video, and I keep my videos a little bit shorter. I know people do 20, 30. Like, for that video, how much did you chop off? Like, you have to edit those things, and you got to make these poses, and it's not as easy as it looks, and for somebody just to press fast forward. So, the first one is cool, but I remember when I broke my leg in 2024 and I had to do reviews for like 6 weeks or 8 weeks, I was hating it. Let me tell you something. I hated it. I didn't even want to open the figures. I would turn off the camera, and I would look at the next one, and I see like 4 more there. I'm like, I want this. I'm serious. Like it wasn't fun because I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? And I see that a lot. And I've clipped that. I've clipped it with, like, when Charlamagne said it. And I'm saying, he's like, I'm burnt out. I'm in his hamster wheel or whatever. I took it from his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So he said it. And there's something to be said when you have the most subs in the community. I am going to use you as a scapegoat, because everybody else, there's people who want to be you, right? I don't care about your engagement. If your engagement don't match your subs, that don't matter. People care about these subs. So there's something to be said about being on top. So he said it. I'm glad that he said it, because I was like, yo, that's what's up with him. He's being responsible, and he's showing people, like, you don't want to, it looks cool, but you don't want to take your joy and turn it into work. Like I think you said in the beginning, we come home from work to escape to this. When I jump into this room, I close the door. Like, I don't know if you can hear my kids over there while I'm doing whatever. None of that don't matter. That's like, it's like the Matrix. I open this door, I go through that door. It's like another wormhole to another dimension. In here, this is limbo. This is why I just chill, and I run this. You know what I'm saying? I'm magic. I run this in here. Everything just leaves my soul, all the energy, all the negative energy. When I come in here, I can sit down and just look up like this, do nothing. And in the next 10 minutes be like, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Because it has that type of therapeutic aura, and I would never want to jeopardize that by anything, by turning this into my work office. It is work, though. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I try to juggle my channel a little bit differently. And my channel is basically a testament to whatever it is I'm going through at the moment. When I'm doing 3D print, you guys are getting 3D print. When I'm sitting down thinking, you guys are getting what I'm thinking about. It's never like, man, I wonder what the algorithm wants. I don't care what the algorithm wants. It's what I am doing at the moment, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm invested in. And I'm like, I just want to show it to you guys and be like, this is what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And I think that collecting goes through cycles, like everything else. We start off, like I said, we want everything. We come home with garbage bags. Who here has bought like 30 figures, got them home, and didn't even want to open them? And I'm saying 30 like fictitiously, but I'm like any amount of figures. Opening figures is a job.
Yeah, it can take time, and then you got to deal with the trash too. And then
who has opened like 5 to 10 figures at one shot? You can't even appreciate it. When you get one, you really appreciate it. You get one figure, you're like, no, you play with it for a while. You're like, set it up, I pose it, take my pictures, do whatever. When you open 10, it's like boom, boom. It's, like it's almost like you got 3 more. You're like, all right, let me just hurry up with these last 3. Is it just me?
No,
it's not fair too, because each figure deserves like to be enjoyed. You know,
exactly.
Like they're made to be enjoyed. Like they're made to bring someone happiness for having that one figure. And when you get a whole stack or a whole pile, it really dilutes that enjoyment. And you're completely right. Like, I think every collector who's been in the game for at least a couple years has a stack of like 2 open or 2 put in the collection. Like not in the collection, but like to put in the display that they want to put them in. But you know, like everyone has like an overflow table or a stack that they haven't opened, or, you know, a stack that they need to review. And if you have a channel, then there's more pressure to not open something unless you're reviewing it.
Well,
And to be clear, there's no right or wrong way either, because I never want to come off like that. Like there's a right way and a wrong way. There is no right way and wrong way. What I just try to say is there is options, and I don't want people to be like, I have to be stuck on fast forward. If I'm not stuck on fast forward, if my foot is not on the gas, that I'm not doing this for real, that's not the only speed, my brother. And that speed on anything is going to burn you out.
Larry Menchaca in the chat asking, how many of you guys have kids and married? And then also, Larry Menchaca stopped buying middle of last year, married with 3 kids. Justin, married with kids.
Married with 2 kids.
Yeah. David, how many kids
married.
you have?
I have 3 kids.
Single with 3,172 kids.
Kenny recently married
for the 2nd time and 0 kids. So yeah, you know, I just collect wives, not children. So
okay. They're more expensive though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laurenz?
Year married next year, but we'll have been together 10 years, so long-term partner.
Laurenz?
We're just married.
Kenny, talking
I'm
about
the only one that's not married, but you know, I got 3.
It's all right. It's all right.
Hey, getting married and having kids is not the only option, brother.
Well, to be clear, I was married for the first 2. I was married for the first 2. It didn't work out.
But Kenny, talking about like an overflow, basically being flooded, you know, with figures to open and everything. I'm sure you've got a lot of talk about that.
Yeah. No, so I was gonna say, aside from the actual flooding, the flooding of figures, yes. So like that was the point. The whole impetus of creating a channel for me was to get these figures in, go film the figure, do the review, and go put it on the shelf, right? That was the whole plan. Each figure, open it, review it on the shelf. That way I'm actually taking time to appreciate every single figure that comes in the door. The problem with that is then you find yourself, well, I'm not going to be down here every single day filming 2 reviews of figures of everything that comes in the door, right? That's too much. So you kind of refine it to what it's going to be. All right, well, what gets the most engagement? Well, Marvel Legends seems to be the most popular thing that people are willing to click on, unless it's like a one-off type thing, like Mondo Real Ghostbusters, right? Like that gets views because people are curious about that kind of thing. But the Super Nintendo Jack specific stuff, like that gets nothing, but yet I still try to like get those in. All that to say, like I'm doing those reviews and I put out frequent content with the reviews, right? Like I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting out several videos a week when I can. I'm not really getting some, you know, the engagement sometimes, but sometimes I am. that's only a fraction of what's coming in the door, right? Like you watch this show every Saturday, you see what's I'm showing off with pickups. That's not all going on the channel, right? And then there's that stack of boxes that sit over there that I'll get to eventually, and those are the ones. Well, now I got to sit down on a Sunday and just start opening boxes just to get those on the shelf, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's a constant influx of stuff, balancing with trying to create some content, but then also just dealing with the average collector thing of the I'll get to it pile. So you know,
I think my I'll get to it pile came from trying to do content. It was like, because I don't buy a ton, right? I don't buy a ton, but it's like, to Kenny's point, like what gets engagement, like Marvel Legends, especially, you know, TikTok. Like, so you're trying to, like Cleva earlier, you said that you don't care what the algorithm, you know, like you're doing, like with, but posting on TikTok, it's like, if I'm trying to do like videos that really are showing off the figure, it's like, I'm trying to hit all these different points to fit the algorithm, because like, or else TikTok is going to give you 2 views and you're like, then why did I spend an hour of my time doing this?
Yes.
And it's like, so it's like, that was, so it was like figures that I was getting that I was like, oh, I can't wait to open that. But I was like, dang, I don't have time to sit here for an hour and like, and record. So they just started sitting. And like, so that's why, how I got out of that.
But that seems to be the dangerous part, because you, if it takes you 3 hours to put content together, you want to make sure that there's value on that time that you spent by a return from the algorithm, and like the views and the engagement and all of that, to make it worth the while that you spent doing it, right?
Absolutely.
But if you're churning out like hollow content and speaking words that you don't believe in or that you're not emotionally invested in, then is that content gonna bring the engagement if the people realize that your heart's not in it? You know, like it's a weird balance to have to strike.
Absolutely.
So
And
how do you strike that balance? Like what's like, when does it become more about the content than the core of what the content's built around? You know,
for me when it becomes disheartening is when, okay, so like, yeah, I'll put out a Legends video, new wave hits, I put out a video for every figure, they all do pretty well, you know, quick like 7-8 minute videos of a figure, just information. I try not to like put too much opinion into it. Like, I just want to give people information. You're interested in this figure, this is what you get with the figure, right? The videos where I actually put a lot of effort and time into. So for instance, right, I just posted the Ecto HasLab video, right? It took me a while because I had to deal with the missing pieces and everything. I got that video together. It's a 45-minute video, right? To Cleva's point, how much did I chop off of that? I filmed like 5 hours worth of footage for that video, right? It took me over a month to get it all together, to edit it down, do all that for a 45 minute. I have 38 fucking views on that video right now. You know what I mean? Like, it
hurts, right?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Damn, I forgot the question now, because there was a question you had. What's the question?
How do you strike the balance between like making worthwhile content?
Oh yeah, I remember.
And getting
what you call it?
value
The first
for
thing I ask myself is always this: is this something that I want to do? Point blank, period. If I ask myself, oh, this is the new Catwoman. If I start asking myself, do I think other people stop. Is this something I want to do? And if I get to 38 views for that, so be it. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with it, because that shit was genuine, right? Like that's like when I did my my this little Punisher thing. I put mad time into that. I was thinking about that for like months. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna bring this to life. I'm gonna do this, whatever. If it hit, it hit. If it don't, it don't. I was doing that regardless. Doesn't make a difference. I didn't do that because I thought somebody else wanted to see it. I did it hoping that people would appreciate it. But regardless, it was getting done regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was gonna get done. And I feel like that's an answer right there, because this goes back to looking at Walmart like, oh damn, I guess I'll grab this kitchen Batman, you know, and then get mad when I get 6 views, because nobody wants to buy kitchen Batman. You didn't want kitchen Batman. Nobody wants that. That's why I said, Cleva, stop it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think if we stay true to, if you just stay true to what it is that excites you, and you're like, yo, I really like this. This is really dope. This is really different. Like Blactor, I seen you on TikTok too, and I think you did one when it was like Was your wife asked you like what this new figure that came in or a new box, and you was like, oh nah, I don't know anything about that. I like that. That was very original. That was something that we can all relate to, I think. You know what I mean?
I love the
Anybody has a
Chili's
girlfriend
video
or a
last.
spouse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that didn't come off a Hasbro announcement. That didn't come off of a calendar. That didn't come off of a release date. That's something that you sat there and you said, yo, I bet you somebody else is going through this too. And that related to you, whether you got 1 view or 1 million views, you felt like that was appropriate, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's been the fun too, is like that I don't feel the need. Like that's what TikTok is, right? You use a viral sound, you do something, but then of course there are a lot of original videos on there. But the niche of action figure collectors has always been people who see YouTube, and now they're on TikTok and they're like, now I have to be the greatest reviewer of all time. And then they're trying to condense it to a minute because that's how TikTok works. Whereas like I just was like, hey, half of TikTok is just using these sounds and doing these 15-second videos. I'm just going to bring that to this niche. And it was like, I get people in the comments that are like, oh, this was great, dude. And I was like, that's just what the normal app is.
Yeah.
But like, bring it here and have fun. Like, apply it to you. Apply it to exactly what we do.
Yeah.
It's adapt or die, right? I mean,
that's exactly the advice that Nerdzoic gave was don't watch action figure stuff. Watch other niche content, take from that and then put it into this, right? Because to that point, I mean, I can record these reviews. I think Cleva, you said it earlier, and there are a million. It's a saturate. Like everybody's doing it. Who needs to hear what I have to say about this? But at the end of the day, like I do want to put that out there, right? And if I get 38 views are great. Like 38 is better than 0. I still had fun doing the process, right? Like I enjoy the editing and the filming and really like for me, it's just an exercise in doing that stuff. And then it's out there,
Kenny, would you say it's kind of an excuse to kind of play with the toys before it goes on the shelf? And also even go into the editing, you're kind of, it can be fun to like learn something new and like try to master a craft. And every time you do it, you kind of learning something, getting a little better. Like a little hidden thing. I have so much fun every week with this show, just making the thumbnails. Like, what am I going to do this week? This week it was really simple, but it was still kind of funny. Laurenz, we love Laurenz, but it's kind of like that thing where like everybody makes fun of me about Kubo and everything and Cuppy, but it's like you just throw jabs at friends and everything. And it's just fun. So nobody's going to really look at that thumbnail and be like, well, why is this arrow pointing to this guy saying he's collecting wrong? It's kind of like an inside joke, but that's for me. It made me laugh. And why is he holding Captain Carrot? He was never holding Captain Carrot in the original picture. But yeah, it's just fun. But do you think it's like your excuse of, well, I'm going to get it. I'm going to open it anyway. So I might as well open it on camera. The content is a byproduct of the hobby. It's an excuse to play with it before it goes on the shelf for all eternity for me to never touch again.
And like, aside from that, I've really tried to start doing other types of videos, right? That's why I started doing this old shelf.
I love this old shelf.
Building a display video, right? However, I manifested that into an actual problem in my home, so I have to cancel that series now. So
you better not, Ken. I love that series.
This old wall.
The worst thing is though, this is the shelf I was working on, right? The X-Men shelf that was right there. I have half of the footage done, and I had to take everything down.
Oh, it's perfect. Like in those home improvement shows where they run into a problem and a pipe bursts and you have to redo the project.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I will be, I was filming the process, so I'll be incorporating that, but now I got to start. So it'll be a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, I get it. What I'm trying to get to is like, it's finding ways to actually have the fun with the action figure content, right? Because the reviews at this point just feel like going through the motions almost, it's just getting something out there.
I feel like that.
Give yourself permission, Kenny, to Kenny, just okay. So don't do reviews for a while. But if you enjoy this old shelf thing, you have a whole corner of your room that you now need to reset. So live in that world for a while and experience the joy that you get from that. Justin imposed a rule on himself. He's only going to buy Spider-Man animated characters, and then had to go for 5 minutes explaining why he's going to break that rule. You made the rule, so dismantle the rule, throw the rule out the window. Fuck the rule.
There are no
You
rules.
made the rule, now make a new rule. I can buy all animated characters and Kane because I like Kane. It's okay. Let yourself do what you enjoy, and I cannot sit here and think anybody forced me to buy these figures. I bought them because I wanted to buy them. That's the fun part. Do what you want to do. You've grown up. I wouldn't advise spending money on this before the rent and the bills and the food for the kids and the clothes and all of that. I wouldn't advise that. But if you still can afford to do it, do it. Find joy wherever we can in this world. There's too much crazy shit going on.
You have to have a hobby. I'm a big proponent of you have to have some type of hobby.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of money, right? Anybody watching this, beginning collector and everything, I never want to say oh, this is really easy. You can just have, like Cleva said, you can have this in a week. No, this is years of collecting behind everybody. Don't feel pressure. Get what you like.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it if you decide you don't like it later or whatever. Only get what you like. Don't let me tell you that, hey man, you need this Doomsday. This is the best figure ever. You need to buy it right now. Okay. No, who gives a shit what I'm buying? Buy what you want to buy.
But saying years of collecting is not just that. It's years of budgeting, and it's years of making choices and sacrificing something in order to be able to buy this, and canceling this pre-order because you want to buy this thing. It's a long evolving process, and none of it happened overnight, and none of it was necessarily an easy decision. Sometimes
I almost didn't get the Sentinel. I had car repairs I had to pay for. I had to drop my pre-order because it was about to hit, and then sold enough stuff I had to pay the Hasbro Pulse price. What was it, $40 more or something like that? $30 more.
I like how you're about to say aftermarket, but yeah, Hasbro just has the aftermarket right now. So.
Hasbro Pulse is the aftermarket, right?
Hasbro has the extra 10 that I canceled, so that's technically the aftermarket.
Thank you, Laurenz. Oh, this is one of Lorenz's actually.
I got you.
There you go.
He found a good home, man. He found a good home. But I noticed, so after we had the new baby this year, really videos kind of looking right here. Going into the new year, I said, okay, I'm gonna actually. The kid's about to be 1 and everything. I can find time to actually try to buckle down and work out some content when I can, right? But when I can. Looking at my channel right now, I've done 2 videos at the beginning of 2026, so I'm going to pat myself on the back right there. But before that, it backed me up 4 months ago. 4 months was the last video I did. Which that was just the intro for channel members. So it was 5 months ago was the last video I did before that. But it's what are you here for, right? This is a hobby. And to me, the YouTube channel is an extension of the hobby. It's it should be fun. The collecting should be fun. The YouTube should be fun. Find your purpose, right? And to me, sharing my hobby is fun. Being able to talk to you guys is fun. So if I can put out a video saying my opinion on something, how I feel about something, just showing off what I've got, showing off something I'm proud of, and somebody likes it, then that's just fun for me, right? But so it's kind of intertwined, right? But I think what Cleva was saying is it's important not to let the YouTube channel drive the hobby. Let the hobby drive your YouTube channel, right?
Exactly.
Go about it that way. Because now, I'm gonna try to do more, because it's all about just trying to build up and everything. Because it is nice. You want to get not just subscribers, you want to get the right subscribers. You want to have more people kind of, tune in and everything, because you're sharing it with more people, and then it's more fun, right? You feel like you're building something, you're accomplishing something. And but to do that, just live streams, talking about the algorithm, Cleva, you said what the algorithm wants. I don't think the algorithm knows what the algorithm wants, because they don't really reward live streaming. So you kind of have to do like the shorts and the videos and everything, but you have to find that right balance of doing it, you know, when you want to do it, and, you know, doing something you do want to do, and it's not a burden, and it's not taking the fun out of it. So like I did the most recent video I did was just like about these pickups. It was low effort. I just right here on my desk, I moved my keyboard, I set them on the desk, and I talked about them. I was like, oh, well, this is what I had come in. This is how I feel about it. And it was, you know, just my thoughts off the top of the head, you know, and that's just like, maybe nobody really cares about that, but maybe 10 people will show up that do care about it, you know? And
didn't you just do another video too about the worst McFarlane figure?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I labeled this
Yeah,
video.
he just went on camera and said all of them, and then
they said 5. I was like, wait, that's another.
Yeah.
I thought I
My
missed
man.
something. Okay.
Yeah, because it was like, oh, these are my pickups. Well, let's lead with the main thought. Let's get some people in here. Hey, man, I'm not above clickbaiting. Okay, I'm not above playing the game. All right, is you get them to click it, and then if they can decide to stay or not, you know, if they like you, if they decide it's there, but you got to get them to click. Sometimes you got, you know, you just got to get them to click. But yeah, let's talk about this guy. It's a hunk of junk. But the other 3 figures I was happy with. But I didn't buy this. Right, I bought the Superman. This was like the little accessory packed in that I didn't want. So
I think I'm proud of myself for that. We're on the 10th day of the new year, and like over Christmas break, you know, you get 2 weeks off work, and I was like, I'm gonna buckle down, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna get some content ready for the year, I'm gonna post every day. But then I was like, of course I still get a little bummed, you know, when a video doesn't like hit like the average amount of views that I normally get. But I've got like four TikToks posted in 10 days, because I was like, I'm gonna post the ones that I'm just getting, like, there's no need for me to feel like I have to do it. One, because what is that doing for me? We've talked about all the negatives of feeling like I have to do it, but also I've come to terms with the fact that I am not trying to get a TikTok payout like it feels like most of the people that I see on there are. It's like they're grinding for a payout that is like dust. And it's like I don't know why we're competing for the same $3. You know what I mean? Like if that's what you want, you can have it. It's like I did this, like I got the light box and the rotating base and the tripod. Like I bought all the things, and the only reason I don't regret buying those things is because I made friends on there. The same way I end up making friends with you guys. Like, but I'm not. I know I'm not going to be a big reviewer that's going to hit the 100,000 followers because I'm posting about Captain America Marvel Legends. It's just not going to happen. I've hit the threshold of TikTok. I feel like I've done it.
It's all about just doing what you have fun doing, and eventually, you know, if you're authentic, like Cleva said, it'll come through. You know, it'll come through. Cleva, you were up to what? I was looking the other day, almost 9K.
Is it what are we talking about?
Your subscribers, just your channel.
Nah, not 9K. I wish I was at 9K. I just hit 5K.
You just hit 5K? I could have swore you were higher than that.
You was probably looking at a video.
Oh yeah, the views.
Yeah, and
it was those 80,
I just hit 5. I think I'm like 5,050, 5,060, something like that.
So
last year was great. Last year was great. I mean, 2025 was great. I think I got 3,070 subs in 2025. And
the majority of that is just your thoughts. Just your thoughts bringing.
That's my bread and butter. My brother, like my bread and butter is my very first video was 5 things I wish I knew. I had a feeling that that's where I would fit in. That's why that was my very first video. You know what I'm saying? And that's we're very common in the fact that I think our first videos were our best videos, me and you, right, Jess? I think so. Me and you have that in common. Our first video, like that's very rare. A lot of people's first videos is like 5 views. I think our first videos were like our best video. I still haven't topped my first video. Like I think
my first video had over 9,000 views. I was like, oh, this is easy.
Right. It's very misleading, right? Because I should have been doing this.
37 views. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I should have been doing this. Like,
what's everyone complaining about? This is hard.
Yeah, I should have quit my job last year. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like that, I had the same feeling, right? And it's a little bit harder. But then I started to think about everything that I talk about, man. I gotta be mindful that if I'm gonna bring things up, that people are gonna hold me probably to a microscope. So I can't I can't do the same thing I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, like, and if I'm talking about something, I gotta talk about my mistakes and how I came around that, or how I'm trying to resolve that, or whatever the case is. Something like that, you know, and that's really my bread and butter. I don't try to drop every day. I don't care about dropping every day. I don't care about money. I don't care about anything else. I care about the quality of what I'm putting out, and I treat every week individually from the next. And all I think about is if they watch this, will they get a better piece of me, a better piece of the understanding of the collecting culture? Because my channel, to be honest with you, is to fight stereotypes. I hate the way that people look at us. I hate the way that people, oh, you guys, or you just buy anything, or you little kids, or people play with toys. No, we don't play with toys. And I don't feel, I know they are toys, but let's be clear. If somebody was playing with a basketball is a toy. So you're going to tell me that if LeBron James plays with toys, I don't want to hear that. A ball is a toy. If I tell my son, you want to play with the ball. Why? Because a ball is a toy. LeBron James is playing with toys. How come they don't say, oh, you're just playing with toys? You know what I mean? So I hate that they look at us a certain way, and then I always try to fight stereotypes. So my channel will always be for the betterment of the collecting community as a whole, to try to fight the stereotypes. They look at us, and I just don't want them to see me like, oh, I know all about you. You don't know anything about me. Just because this guy in the second floor, we're not the same. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what's different about this. And that's what I really try to base my channel around. That's all I think about. I treat every week as an isolated week. And I'm just like, if I can't, and look, for the past 2 weeks, I felt like I was forcing it. I said, you know, I'm not going to do nothing. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to finish my room. I wasn't in the space to force anything. And I wasn't going to force anything. And I said, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to redo my room. I'm going to be therapeutic with it. And then I didn't even think about it. Then at the end, I was like, oh, it's about 2026. I have another room tour in 2 years. Then I was like, all right, let me just do that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Then that came up, and, you know, and I just never want to try to, like, what does the algorithm want? Who cares? You got to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to be yourself regardless. And I think that's why I like this live stream a lot, because I feel like everybody here is themselves, and there's all distinct personalities. I think we're missing Andrew too, but Andrew's one of my favorite members that you have, because I feel like he's just so authentic in his minusculeness of collecting. Is I love it. You know what I mean? Because he's not trying to be something he's not. You know, everybody else will have Sentinels or Galactuses, and he'll be like, well, I found this Anakin Skywalker from 1995. And he's totally cool with it. And I'm totally cool with that too, because I'm like, yo, I found myself blowing up his picture. Let me see that real fast. And I'm saying whatever. And I like that, because I feel like that's genuine. You know what I mean? And that's what this culture needs, is more genuine people. You know what I'm saying? So not to say that anybody's disingenuous. I'm just saying that people need to know the difference of what it is they looking at. You know what I mean? We're all the same, but we're not the same. Okay? We're not. You know what I mean? It's like saying every basketball player is the same. No, there's certain LeBron James. There's somebody that's on the cut list. There's 6 man. They are all not the same. They all wear jerseys, but they're all not the same. And it's the same thing with us. We're all not the same. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I do something, I'm able
to that point, Cleva. You know, we had No Chewing in here to say what's up. What's up, No Chewing? His stream and like the Toy Daddies, they're toy photographers. We're not toy photographers. We're display makers. You did a collection room where you showed off amazing display, like your Deadeye or your like Marksman display. Incredible. All the stuff that you 3D print, we make displays. That's what we do, and then we have live streams to talk about toys. So to say that every toy collector is the same is disingenuous, because like you said, we're not. And no offense, No Chewing, your stuff is amazing, but toy photographers' displays are fucking trash. They're piles of figures. Now, I'm
prime with the beef emojis.
What I mean by that is oftentimes it's just like shit everywhere, because they have scattered piles of stuff because they come together for a sick photograph. Like they're, for someone who has a really built display or this old shelf, they're not quick to say like, oh, let me just pull these things out so I can make this photo, because they're not going to put them back. They're going to hold it off to the side so that they can, you know, use it for another photograph down the road. So there are different collectors. And Dan Hughes said it in one of his videos recently, where he's like, I don't want to do a collection room because I'm doing so many reviews that I'm constantly pulling old figures out of my displays so that I can compare them, and I'm not putting them back. So my displays are like half empty or they're all over the place. Like, that's the kind of collector he is. And toy photographers are that kind of collector, and display builders are that kind of collector.
And I tried to touch on that in my last video. I really did. I even broke them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I said, no disrespect. It's just what I see is what I see. Like, I see that. I see that this comes first. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to be impressionable to people who are impressionable. Like, yo, be mindful. Like, that's, you know, your man getting clicks for those. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not getting any money for your little Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Don't try to be like this guy. Try to be yourself. And then let's see where that leads you. You know what I mean? Because like when David just showed that that custom figure, I was like, wow, that was awesome. You know what I'm saying? When he showed how he did the Jubilee and what was the other part of it? The Gwen Stacy or the Mary Jane? Yeah.
Imagine if David did videos, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that is dope, man. I mean, that's something original, and just adding your own flavor to it. That I would like to see more of that thing, as opposed to more of Spider-Man Nightcrawler with the boom. Like, who cares? Like, it's a 1 million boom. I want to see more of those things, like that make me feel like, damn, what can I do? You know, how can I be different? How can I bring something to, like when I did the Black Ops with I thought that was super dope. I was like, yo, Gunbusters with Black Ops, you know what I'm saying? With the Juggernaut, with the Marvel Zombie. Stop playing with me. I was like, yo, who got this? I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, this is super dope. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about that for like 6 weeks. I couldn't even touch on it because I wanted to like bring it out. But I feel like we all bring like my Black Ops with his custom figure. I've seen you with your special Superman. Like, there's just so many things that we can do if we think outside the box. And I feel like too many people think inside the box. And I'm like, why? Why? Yeah. My analogy, if we all go to the store, we all had $1,000. We walk into the same store. We should walk out with different things, even though we went to the same store. If I go there and I walk out with 5 pair of jeans and 5 white shirts and 5 Timbs, and you walk out with 5 jeans and 5 Timbs, like, whoa, a little suspect, my brother. What's going on here? That's how I feel when I look at collections. What's going on with this? Why is this a copy and paste? Where is your flavor?
Yeah. Laurenz, what are you going to do in 2026 to make sure you just like blend in completely and go full fraud?
I'm going to stop showing my face on video, and I'm going to try to speak in as wide as a voice as I possibly can.
Showing his ass.
And yeah, I'm just going to, you know, I'm do only Marvel Legends, only Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, only.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Laurenz, like seriously though, like where do you see
characters to that list? Just Spider-Man. Well, just Spider-Man and Captain America. Iron Man. Well, just Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man. Wolverine. Well,
yeah, maybe Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine. You got to have Wolverine in there. But Laurenz, you are kind of the newest collector in here. Going into like through 2026, like, do you have any collecting goals, or where do you see your collecting hobby taking you in 2026? And on top of that, the whole TikTok thing, where do you see that going?
Great question. I don't know. You know, like I feel like I'm just kind of open to letting things go. Like I said, I've gotten more focused as time has gone on in my collecting. This past December has been 3 years. So I've been collecting for 3 years now, and I've gotten into so many more things than I ever would have thought that I would have. But I think that getting into more things has made me become more focused as well. Like, now that's not to say that every time I got into something new, it was this super focused thing. But like the biggest example of that would be G.I. Joe, right? Like when I got into Joe's, there was the first June that hit, you know, Yojo June. I bought enough figures that was if I had bought 1 or 2 every single day of that month. Like I was just going crazy. And then and now my wife, but at the time girlfriend was like, what the fuck? I get this. Like, what's happening here? But as time has gone on, I was like, you know, I'm not going to do that. So like the army builders that I have, like I sold off. In November and December, I got rid of about 125 figures in my collection. And it was like, army builders that I don't necessarily care for anymore, older figures, because also within my 3 years collecting, like starting in December of 2022, I was kind of playing some catch up, right? Because you're like, oh, now that I'm learning about this world, it was like, oh, all these other characters have been made. Let me go get those. But now I've also been collecting so many new things from 2022 to 2026 that it was like, actually, I don't care to have this old, outdated version of the figure anymore, just because I don't have a very strong nostalgic grip to that figure. I just bought it just because. And so I think that I'm just very narrowed down. So that's kind of my goal in 2026, to try to stay focused. Like I got into Transformers in October, and it's like getting into a new thing. It's so exciting to be like, oh my gosh, there's an entire world of Transformers out there. But it's like, I'm doing everything I can to be like, stay focused on these things. Age of the Primes is a current new line that's coming out for Transformers. Get those, and don't even get all of them, right? Like focus on the characters that you kind of know a little bit about, or the characters that you find super exciting. Because again, I also don't even know that much about Transformers. Like I said earlier, I got into toys because I like toys. So then I started buying Transformers because I thought they were sick. So now I am into Transformers lore. But it's like, get the characters that look super sick, or the ones that I already know. Focus on that. And then as time goes on and I continue to learn about Transformers, I can allow myself to get more characters from there. So that's my goal for 2026, is just to stay focused on that. Because now being into all these different lines, I can't get everything. And that was a hard reality, but it was like one that I had to really accept.
I've said it before too about Laurenz being a new collector and getting into these properties. Like, it's so cool to see a young person like Laurenz get into Transformers, because there's hardly any Transformer. I mean, not that it doesn't exist, but like new Transformers media is more rare than like new Batman or Spider-Man media. So it's cool to see new collectors like Laurenz get into it to keep those properties alive, because, otherwise no one, like, Batman isn't going to disappear if I don't buy a Batman or Spider-Man or something like that. But I do feel like Power Rangers, yeah.
And I haven't bought a Transformer in over 40 years. So there you go.
Yeah. Cleva, you're an active Transformers collector.
I love Transformers.
Do you know a lot of people around Lorenz's age, like in their early 20s, that are collecting Transformers, or are they mostly like your age?
I can't say that I do. That's why when he I think earlier in the stream he said something, I was very surprised. So I was like, wow, because no, I think he said G.I. Joes, and I was like, because those G.I. Joes and Transformers kind of go hand in hand. And I was like, I'm surprised that he does. I didn't even do Joes, you know what I'm saying? Because I just don't know enough about them. I just know the main, probably like 10, 15 people, but not enough to. Joes is extensive. So, Transformers is something that if you wasn't around for like Transformers the movie, you probably wouldn't be into it. It's very rare, which is super dope. I love that you love Transformers. I love Transformers too, man. Trust me. Transformers is like, I feel like I did a whole video on Transformers. I feel like you get 2 or 3 figures out of one figure, because you can do the vehicle mode, you can do the alt mode, you might do another mode. You get a lot out of it. But yeah, current, newer 20-something-year-old Transformers fans, I mean, I don't see them like that.
Yeah, to Justin's point or question about TikTok, what do I see that going to? I've run into TikTok is so vast, right? And it's easier to make connections with people than maybe it is than posting on YouTube and like going through your comment section. So I have been able to find a nice group of people around my age that are into Transformers. But G.I. Joe, it's just like me. Like I'm like the only 24-year-old who's like, did you get this one on TikTok? And so to answer your question, like, what do I see TikTok being for me in 2026? It's just, I mean, kind of what it's already has been, right? Like posting when I can, when I think of something fun that's original, like I'll do that. I'm going to do everything I can to not focus on the views. And of course, I'll get caught up in it from time to time. When something really hits really well and I have a good week and then the next week is ass, I'm going to be a little hurt, right? It's going to happen.
That's natural.
It's like, I know that what my main focus on is, which is now, it's just going to be Transformers and G.I. Joe. Like, I'm still going to collect Legends, but my Legends collection is very limited, I feel like, at this point. Most of what I got rid of was Legends. It's like, so I know that, like, I'm not going to be getting crazy engagement posting about G.I. Joe on TikTok. So I'm not going to bother, not because I don't want to, but just because, like, there's just no point overall. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to get any Like the enjoyment that I'll get of spending my time playing with the G.I. Joe figure will be with me just playing with the G.I. Joe figure, not me setting up my camera and then playing with the figure. I'm just going to take it outside and take a picture of it. Like that's just what I'm going to keep doing. So it's like 2026 for me in terms of that. It's just going to be hanging out, continuing trying to make friends on there. Like I like engaging with other people's stuff more than I even like posting, I feel like. Because once I'm engaging on their, like seeing people who are trying to get that grind in every single day and supporting those people and knowing that they're genuine people is more fun than trying to see a reward from it for myself. Because like I said earlier, I don't think I'm going to see a real monetary gain from it. So if those people are trying to chase it and I can help them get to that, then like that's my goal in that.
I really like something you said there, Laurenz. Really liking engaging with what other people are doing. Being a creator, like going in and starting to do your own thing, makes you look at other people's content completely different, and you can see the work and the effort they've put into it. And I would encourage anybody, if you kind of got your nose up in the air looking at a YouTube channel or somebody's TikTok or Instagram, you go ahead and you make a couple things, right? You go through, you make the thumbnails, you edit the videos, you take the time to record, you buy the lighting, buy the mic, buy the camera. Then you're going to look at these channels a little different and just look and appreciate it a lot. Because like the Laurenz TikToks, like they look professional. You know, that they're fun. They're funny. I mentioned the Chili's one. That was hilarious. It was a used sound clip from Family Guy and everything. It's hilarious. I got a good chuckle out of that. Kenny's on the round table and the lighting, the background, and the perfect mic quality and everything. It's great. Cleva's looks like such a simple setup, but you don't know how much he puts into those videos with knowing what he's going to say, when he's going to say it, the edits, the going through and everything. Because you don't realize how much you say and stuff like that when recording yourself until you go through and you start editing it. And I don't know if you guys do this too, but I have to edit. I try to edit out so many like uhs and pauses and everything. And it's
rambling.
Man, so I don't know if you noticed this too, Justin, but like, so I used to do a lot of the editing just on my phone, right? Because I would do a quick review, just go to iMovie on the iPhone, pop it up on YouTube Studio, upload it and go. I've switched to doing it all like on the computer, right? So now I'm going in and like separating the audio track and looking and yeah, I'm removing like long vocal pauses. Every time I hear myself take a breath, I'm like taking that out because it
drives me insane when I hear myself breathing.
I breathe that loud, Jesus! All right, so
that's so tedious. That right there takes the most amount of time that people don't realize with the editing. Where you just said those breaths and things like that, like it takes you minutes to affect something that literally takes half a second on the recording. You know what I'm saying? And then you multiply that times however long your video is, 20 minutes. How many times did you do that? How many times did you have to cut it, move it back, do whatever? You know, that takes so long. It gets so tedious that I don't think people understand. Like, there is no app that can do it perfectly for you. You have to do it line by line.
Yeah, that's why I love supporting people on there too. Like I'm at like 22,000 followers on TikTok right now. And so it's like within like the TikTok world as a whole, it's like, man, that ain't nothing. But like within our niche, it's like, that's a pretty decent following. So I'm happy with that. And I am proud of that. But then it also allows me to like, if I join someone's live stream, you know, TikTok will show you every single person who joins and watches. And it's like, I get like a bit of gratification for myself as someone, as a creator, when somebody goes, oh, the Blactor joined my thing. So it's like, that's me being like, okay, I'm a recognized person in our niche. But then also I get to engage with them to let them know, like, keep doing what you're doing as well. Like whether they're just starting or they've been posting for a while, it's like, you get to see my username pop in and be like, cool, someone cool is here. And then I get to be like, yeah, like keep going, because we're all doing something fun. I could have used a better word than cool, huh? There, Alexi. Someone you recognize is here. So it's like, I want to recognize those people as well, that we should all just be having fun and doing this, that the work that you spent on your video, because again, I now know how much work it took them to post that video. So it's like, I want to recognize them for that. So it's fun in that regard. Like that's my reward out of it.
Yeah.
I think the best example of someone realizing how much work, like coming from the side of just enjoying to transitioning into how much work being a creator actually is Brandon from the Dan Who Reviews channel, where he was the co-host of Dan's streams every week, and he would be there and he would chime in. He's, you know, very enthusiastic about figures and stuff, but then he made his own channel and exactly, John, exactly. He made his own channel. I think he did like one live stream and he posted one video, and he put a lot of work into it. Like his super chat, like soundbite was Chris Tucker from Rush Hour is like $50 million. And like he had so much fun stuff, but Dan talked to him about it on stream after, and he was like, yeah, man, that shit sucks. I'm just going to get a job at Hasbro. And then he did. So it's a huge labor, which is why for the homies, like, I mean, it's not work to watch your content, Cleva, because you always have something very thoughtful. Not that it's work to watch any of the homies' content, but like, can you review stuff? I don't collect Ghostbusters, but I watched his, his Ecto 1 review. I watched like all of the reviews that he posts. I support Justin, same thing. I watched a whole video of McFarlane toys. I don't even like McFarlane, but I watched it and I commented on it. So I know as a collector, because I've been in the game and, you know, I jump on and I freeload on these live streams. Like, I know how much work it is to be a content creator. So I always want to support the people that I want to help.
Notice how he didn't say he watches my videos?
I don't have TikTok.
Clip that?
Oh gosh.
Look, I created a TikTok just to follow Laurenz. All right.
Wow. Every time Kenny comments on one of my videos, I'm like, yeah.
I comment on Laurenz's stuff.
You do?
I do. I support. Have you considered like copy and pasting like what you do on TikTok over to YouTube, like just for shorts and stuff, Laurenz?
Yeah, I've thought about it because I started doing it on Instagram too, and like the Instagram account, like within like a week, went from 0 followers to like a couple thousand, and it was like okay, like so there's like a bit of an audience on Reels, and it's like I could be posting them on Shorts as well. I just haven't, like, I just didn't do it.
It's like, oh, post it here, copy paste, post it here, copy paste, post it here, copy paste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like I probably will start doing that too, just because, you know, like it's just that's a very easy why not type question, you know.
Yeah, you can diversify.
YouTube needs more cool people around.
Yeah,
that's
more,
right.
More cool
Yeah.
people, right? Just like we start at 9 p.m. every night, right? 9 p.m. But I think the moral of the story is do what you want, make it fun. If it's not fun, why do it if you're not having fun? And there's no wrong way to collect. Just
step Lorenz's way.
Except the way you're doing it.
There's no wrong way to collect. Just be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it. And you don't have to buy absolutely everything. And if you're a new collector, don't think you're going to have 10 shelves behind you on a wall filled with figures in a week. Jesus Christ, I hope
172 figures.
And if you do, it's going to be wild suspect.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'd hate to see those credit card bills.
You want one of the most dangerous forms of content that I think is on TikTok is people will post like end of the month, my payout. Here's my TikTok payout, and we're gonna go buy figures with it. It's like the people who post, here's what I made on social media this month. Here's what we bought with it. And so there are people who are like, holy shit, you can buy that. Like, so they're people who are trying to emulate that, they'll go buy a bunch of crap, or they'll try to do whatever they can to get that amount of money. It's like that dude's an anomaly. You're not going to do that.
My $7.
That's why I try to get across. That's why I try to get across.
You're not paying your bills off social media. Not in this hobby. Not in this.
I have an accrued $30 sitting in my TikTok account that is like $30 over a year.
That's one figure. That's one figure.
That's barely with the tax.
Well,
This is exactly why I stay away. This is exactly why I stay away from short form. It's just not worth it. Like I just did like 52,000 on a short, and it's like $1.50. Like you can't be serious. Like
can I say? So people ask me because like the Chili's video, Justin, you mentioned that got 1 million views on it. And the video that I started that really made me be like, I'm really going to post more and more was a video of my wife and I outside. And I was like, she's taking pictures of her horses. I'm taking pictures of Joe's house. Just a 3-second video that has over 4 million views. So people are like, oh man, how much money did you make off of those? $0, 0 cents, because TikTok does not pay you for videos that are that short. You have to post videos that are like a minute long, a minute more. But the algorithm also shits on you for posting a video that's in a minute long, because most people on TikTok are trying to watch a video that's up to 30 seconds and then they scroll. So that's how they that's how they get you. All my videos that are my most viewed videos, $0.
Yeah,
That's why I don't focus on short form.
I think you got to go with Justin's idea though and start posting on YouTube, because I mean, you're not going to make a lot of money, but I mean, I have a short that has 80,000 views. I made $9, so I'll take that.
And then short form videos also are a son of a bitch. We were at her wife's grandparents' house, and her aunt comes up to me and is like, we saw you guys on Instagram. And I was like, what? Because like people just repost your, like they just take the TikTok video, post it on Instagram. Like people saw that video from other platforms that I had never posted it on. And I was like, what the fuck? That's the hardest part about short form content, is that it's everywhere and then you get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when did my MySpace kick off?
If somebody's entire MySpace top 8 is just this picture.
and Tom.
And Tom. Yeah, you can't remove Tom, guys. You can't remove Tom. Okay. You can't. Well, guys, I think that's a good place to kind of end it, but I do want to go around the panel and let everybody talk for a second. Any final thoughts? And go ahead and plug anywhere where anybody can find you. Laurenz, I'm gonna bring you up first, my friend.
I got shit on real early here on this one, but you know what? I might just leak the chat of Justin really begging me to come on, because that's truly what happened. Is that I was like, you know what? 9 p.m. I'm in bed because I've got stuff going on. I'm a good holy man. I've got church in the morning, so I should be catching my Z's for the Lord. But I said, for Justin, because he asked so politely, on his knees, groveling, for Justin, I'll stay up.
Well, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
But thanks for having me on. This was fun. Good discussion. So yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm used to being around Alexi and Kenny, David sometimes, but it was fun hanging out with Cleva as well. So thanks for having me on. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the Blactor.
I do have everyone's links in the description down below. As usual, all the co-hosts' links are down lower than the special guests are up higher. You'll see. Scroll through the description. Learn to read, people. Okay? Learn to read. All right. Cleva. Thank you again, man, for coming on. Third time. And it's not the last. It's going to keep happening. I hope everybody's ready for it. All right.
I'm going for the Lifetime Achievement Award on
man.
But, the 2026, what I'm trying to do is just try to ramp up everything I was doing in 2025. I am working on the website. It should be finished by the end of the week. I thought I was going to have it done by today. It is not going to happen. By the end of the week is basically where you can find all the merch. You can find the t-shirts. You can find the hoodies. And I'm also going to start doing custom 3D projects for people, because I'm getting a lot of stuff on Instagram and people are asking me for things. And that's going to be the way I'm going to do it, because that makes the most sense. So the website is going to be just like everything else. I'm blessed with a name that nobody else has. So clevasmultiverse.com. TikTok, Cleva's Multiverse. IG, Cleva's Multiverse. Everything's Cleva's Multiverse. I'm so lucky. No underscore, no numbers, no funny stuff, no nothing. I'm the only person with that name. So hopefully by the end of this week, that website will be up. If you guys want the merch, you can go there. And then I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing as far as the more than just toys. I got some other things lined up that I want to bring up. And in 2026, I will start going live myself this year. I've been waiting. It hasn't been an accident. I've been waiting. I've been building up my sub base. I've been building up, trying to get things going. And I want to kind of make it an event. I'm not going to pop up on a random Wednesday like, oh, hey, I missed breakfast. What's up, guys? It's going to be like, I want it to be a rollout. I want it to be a thing. And our niche doesn't take too many people to make an event. I think if we pass 300, it'll be great. And I'm really trying to aim for that. and I'm gonna line my lives up for that. So somewhere 2026, that'll be a thing.
Nice. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward
Appreciate
to it.
that.
Of course, all of Cleva's links in the description down below. And let me see here. Kenny, I think I know where people might be able to find you, right? If StreamYard will stop fucking up and actually bring you to the main screen. Come on. There we go.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing that Cleva said. Anywhere in counterculture. That's just, it's easy. Just type that. Where is it? It's there. There you go. Yeah. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, whatever. It's all there. Whatever you want, whatever you consume, I've got something for you out there. Next week we reveal what's behind the curtain, so stay tuned.
Brand new car. It's a brand new car.
Brand new car behind the curtain. Also, every Thursday on the recap, you can find me, Alexi, the Blactor, sometimes some other people like Agent Z-Man and Compulsive Collector. Hopefully, John, you're feeling better, and we see you next week. And then every Saturday nights, right here.
Hey, get better, John. Hope you're healing up good, my friend. Alexi, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Ya Boys Got Toys, only on Instagram or YouTube. You can find me, like Kenny just said, every Thursday on Encountered Culture and every Saturday here for Collecting Justified. Unlike David, who puts his whole heart into something, I half-ass two things. So you can find me on either show, half-assing it.
Nice. And David, where can everybody find you, my friend?
I'm always whole-assing it on Justified every Saturday. Even when I'm working, I still make it here, show up, and finish out the stream. And sometimes on Legends of the Liquor on Dan Who's channel on those Sundays. Not tomorrow, though. And every now and then on Kenny's Recap whenever Alexi bails.
That's pretty often, I think. So I think that's what I've heard. Anyway. And guys, of course, you can find me here. And sometimes I pop in on Kenny's channel. Sometimes I pop in on Dan's. Sometimes I'm just you're gonna see me
on your own channel.
Yeah, sometimes I'm actually here for my own live stream. Maybe one of these days, like you'll see me pop in on one of Laurenz's TikToks, just hitting him in the head with a frying pan. Hey, I'm here now. No, but yeah, this was Collecting Justified. We have fun every Saturday night justifying this collection. Thank you everybody for being here. Laurenz, thank you. Cleva, thank you. Guys, that's it. We will see you next week, same time. 9 p.m. Right, guys? 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 73, Collecting Justified. Till then, everybody have a great night. It's been fun. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment. Let us know you were here, okay? But stay justified.
Saturday night and we're live at night. Yeah. Saturday night and we're live at 9. You know that means it's justified. Justin collects, making the connect. Kubo has 2 strings, don't disrespect. Andrew is a Jedi, but he's seeing the dark side. Down in the basement for the 28th time. Now there's David, Evan, and Smith. 3,000 action figures for the toy sluts and basic bitches. Your boys got toys to bring the noise. Love the imports, but McFarlane he avoids. Encounter culture is in the space. Superman for days, like it's a race. Now that's justified. Now that's justified. Now that's justified. Saturday night and we're live at 9.
Andrew, entertain the chat.